And we are at a very special place today with a very special man, the man of the hour, Mr. Kirk Gibson. You started this brand new facility, the Kirk Gibson Center, to help people with Parkinson's, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've been working on it for some time, and today we're announcing it to the public here on Northwestern Highway and Middle Belt Road. It's a convenient location where we can grab the most amount of people within 30 minutes of this facility so they can utilize it regularly.
Well, we took a walk around earlier and we mentioned the pickleball courts that are going in. I saw yoga, I saw a music area, just tons of interactive things for people to do. And you got a very large facility here, so you're going to be able to help a lot of people.
Well, we're going to be here for 11 years, and in 11 years we hope to develop some therapies that are going to help people and motivate others to, handle their situation in a way maybe they don't understand they can if they choose to. I ask everybody that's listening, have you ever been depressed? Do you feel like doing anything when you're depressed?
No.
So if you got a place to come, whether you have other colleagues, other teammates, other activities, and you get up and you get moving, would you feel better, do you think? Of course. And that's what we're all about. It seems like there's a lot of negativity in our lives, maybe more so than it used to be. So let's counteract it, and this would be one of the facilities around in the area where you can do that.
Wake up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid high.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener!
Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
D-Shop team here.
What up, though, people? What up, though, people? Hey, this is a crazy occurrence right now, okay? It is a Victory Thursday. It's a victory show.
Oh, yeah.
It's a game day show. It's the ability to clinch and move on to the ALCS show because the Detroit Tigers, man. Flannel Sam, who let the Tigers get hot?
A lot of teams, but Cleveland is right on that list right now of the teams that let the Tigers get hot. And did you see that atmosphere? Did you see Comerica Park and how it was packed and how it was filled up? The Athletic can take that ranking and shove it. Where the sun don't shine.
Absolutely shove it.
Where the sun don't shine.
A playoff record, man,
Yes.
for the Tigers. Like that was for Comerica Park, which was absolutely beautiful to see, and we knew it, man. That's why when I saw that stuff, I was like, I didn't really want to respond to a lot of that outside noise from the stool people or from Athletic, because we've more than proven ourselves now. More than proven ourselves, ample amount of times, and the city's looking so beautiful too. Equanimous, we're gonna have another day for you, brother. Another day. Today is for the Tigers.
Yes, and we don't need to poke a dead body in Barstool Tate right now because the heavyweights had that handled. The entirety of Detroit Twitter has that handled. So we'll let the dead body just rest.
Yeah, hey, you know what? It's your boy Brendan Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer. That's Flannel Sam, the vet of the network and the entire of the squad and the entire network. Shout out to that dude Justin. Shout out to Matthew Broder as well. KG will be back in here. We got intern Chase though in the sound booth representing a little bit of this October in the D right now. Both teams in action.
Yeah. I mean, I got on the Red Wings jersey, got on the captain, Stevie Y. I'm rocking my Tigers ball cap. We got both teams rocking out today, so hopefully the Tigers move on to the ALCS.
What kind of energy? What? Hopefully. What?
Yeah, then hopefully the Red Wings start the season off with a nice
Say
win.
it all with your chest. This is black or white. Yays or nays?
I mean, they're going to win. I'm going to pick them
There
to
we
win,
go.
obviously.
There we go.
I picked the Lions to go 17-0 when we ran through
Yeah,
the
you did,
schedule.
Chase.
I'm never going to pick my teams to lose. Like, that's not. You're not a real fan if you ever just sit there and say, I pick my team to lose. That you're.
Jesus Christ, man. Just
Hey,
when you
that's
start
a
to get
segment
my
for
good
another
graces.
day. Shut up.
Are you, Sam? Are you a fan? If you are a fan of the team, you should always believe in your team no matter what.
But
Like,
what if, let's just say, this year's Michigan team goes
I'm
up
not
against...
saying. I'm not saying the whole season. I'm saying when
Okay.
you go into each game, any game you can win.
Okay.
That's the mentality. I'm not talking about, oh, we're going to go undefeated and win the whole
Okay.
season. I'm saying anytime you're asking me, like, will my team, like, if you ask me, will Central Michigan beat Michigan? I'm going to say yes, because that's my team. That's my
All
school. That's where I went. Does it sound super realistic? Am I going to sound foolish? Probably, but I don't care because that's my team. I will always root for my team.
Okay. All right. No, I get it. You just have to open yourself up to when it doesn't work out, you're going to get clowned. But you
I was gonna
understand
say, I
that.
remember once when I was in puppy love before. It happens like that, man. Hey,
all right.
But I have this weird mix of emotions, man, and I want to be able to get yours quickly, but it's like I want to celebrate, but we don't have much time to celebrate because it's like lock in. It's like,
Yeah,
R.I.P.
right.
Kobe, but it's like, is the job finished?
No,
the
it's
job's
not.
finished
It's
yet.
not finished.
But I do want to know just your initial reaction to the Detroit Tigers' victory yesterday.
Man, my initial reaction was it was just a damn fine day of baseball. You saw a bullpen day work
Weather was
again.
beautiful.
You saw the Tigers, guys that you really wanted to see get clutch hits, get those clutch hits. You saw, and here's one microcosm. Oh, there we go. That is the scene right before the game. Man, what an atmosphere that it was. It was kind of the calm before the storm right there because the Tigers fans definitely brought the storm. But one thing that I noticed when watching that game yesterday, when you're a team that makes a deep postseason run, no matter what sport it is, whether it's NBA, whether it's NHL, whether it's NFL, whether it's Major League Baseball, which the Tigers are in right now, you got to get some breaks. You remember in the top of the seventh when Will Vest came in and gave up an absolute rocket to David Fry with runners on first and second and 2 outs? Who does that rocket land in the glove of? Matt Vierling. Of course, when that ball was hit, it was just like, and then Matt Vierling, of course, comes down with it. It reminded me of the first playoff game in which it looked like Jason Hayward was going to tie the game with an absolute piss missile right to Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're lucky or anything like that. It's just when you want to go on a run like this to where the Tigers can maybe win a World Series, you remember breaks like that. If it's not meant to be, those balls will go into the outfield and runs will score. But you know what? The Tigers are emblematic of it. Just seems more and more like it's meant to be.
Yeah, and you know what? With their style of baseball, they call it this money ball, this small ball, but whatever A.J. Hinch is doing, he has his guys valuing each and every possession. Not that these guys are necessarily getting every hit, but I do see that they're fighting for everything, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets them in a little bit of trouble, but largely we've seen this team be the best team in baseball the last 2 or 3 months of the season. So it's like we're seeing this right now, and it might be shocking, but I'm not necessarily surprised because these guys are playing like it all matters. And you were right at the beginning of the series talking about the pressure that was on the Guardians. And today presents one of those days that if that pressure really is mounting up, I believe the Tigers have absolutely what they need to get this thing done right here in Detroit. And I know the fans are going to be absolutely insane.
Man,
Insane.
Pressure, it does some things to teams. I mean, you saw it with the Phillies versus the Mets. The Phillies split at home, and then a Mets team, which was a wild card team, ended up taking 2 at home against the Phillies team, which, like the Guardians, have had a lot of regular season success lately, but haven't won a World Series. They won one in 2008, but still, they've had a lot of failings. When you get down, even when you go on the road with just a split instead of taking 2-0, the pressure starts to mount. And then the team that's playing a little bit more with house money, they could just be loose. And every single thing that happens, like for example, the Tigers started that game out in the top of the first with a 1-2-3 by Cater Montero and then took a 1-0 lead. Even something like that puts all of the pressure in the world on the Cleveland Guardians, on Stephen Vogt. I think it caused him to panic a little bit. More on that later, by the way. And that's just how it is. There's a ton of organizational pressure on Cleveland. And right now, the Tigers are just playing like kids at the Sandlot. And you love to see it.
Yeah, no, you absolutely love to see it. And I want to be able to get KG and JB's reactions to this game as well. But, yo godson, Mr. Riley Greene. And I saw you talking your talk all across social media, man. It was really good to see him really get the Tigers going in this game. It was somebody that all of us believed we would eventually see get off the snide. Riley Greene, man, how you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. And this is the day.
Victory lapping?
Well, actually,
it's postseason, right?
This is the day where I'm actually going to play nice the whole show, because this is a day to celebrate. I'm not gonna victory lap. Hey, I'm sure Chase will, but the reason why I bristled at a lot of the folks who were, I think, being a little out of pocket about Riley Greene, not the people with justifiable criticism, but there were people that were out of pocket, is because I knew that he would eventually come through. Yes, his teammates picked him up in the first 4 games where he was struggling, but when he got his opportunity, he wasn't going to go this entire postseason without having a big moment, because he's just too good. He showed too much over the totality of a long season to tell me that he was just going to be in an entire postseason long slump. And he got the job done yesterday. He bat in the first run at Comerica Park in a playoff game since 2014. Shout out Riley Greene. He did his thing.
Shout out to Riley Greene. Hey, Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG in the sound booth. What up, though, brother?
I'm fired up.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm on my Kool-Aid today, man. What this team continues to do is just absolutely amazing. You watching that game yesterday, the energy in Comerica Park, outstanding, man. Shout out to everybody that went to that game, man. They brought it, and you knew they were, man. We are absolutely starved in this town, but you watching this game, you never felt like uncomfortable the whole time, man. They had this thing in the bag from start to finish. AJ Hinch once again just putting on a managing masterclass, and I know we're gonna get into it. I want to talk about the pitching staff too, because what they've done this postseason in particular is just absolutely amazing, man. They are the best pitching staff in the playoffs, and you cannot tell me any different. But I know we're gonna break it down more, but I can't wait, man. But
I mean, just look
shout out to the Tigers.
I mean, just look across MLB right now. There's a lot of pitching staffs that are struggling. I mean, the Dodgers have struggled. I mean, you look at what the Padres did last night when they pitched Dylan Cease on 3 days rest. Made a little bit of a bad decision there. I believe his name is, I forgot who started for the Yankees yesterday. He had a good outing, but over the totality, like Garrett Cole struggled. But the Tigers, they had that one bad outing, the game 1 of the Guardians series.
Just
but other than that, though, the Tigers pitching has been lights out. And I agree, KG, I would take this pitching staff over any pitching staff left in the playoffs. And oh, by the way, just so you guys know, I see some people in the chat trying to test me. Kool-Aid brought up Riley Greene. We have an entire segment coming up about the Tiger Kings. Remember that Baseball America cover? We're going to talk about both of them, and we're going to give Jake Rogers his flowers. Of course we are. It's a 2-hour show, guys.
Definitely.
But let it be known that Kool-Aid brought up Riley Greene. I did not.
Hey, listen, somebody yesterday, we were talking about Kerry Carpenter, and someone said, oh, you guys are just not going to talk about Sweeney or Jake Rogers? Watch the show. Let's see, now we know who the real ones are. The real ones knew we covered everybody. Why? Because that's what we're going to do. We get the opportunity to step up here to this desk and go ape crazy about our Tigers, because what they're doing right now, and it's magical, man. I can't even think of a better way to start fall right now. Shout out to Dante151 before I ask Mr. JB Smooth his first reaction to this win. But I just wanted to say, this is Dante151. I just wanted to say thank you again for selecting me to win those tickets for yesterday's game. I took my dad with me to the game, and we had a blast. When the Tigers got that last out, we were high-fiving random people, to KG's point.
I'm telling you, it's different, man. That playoff atmosphere brings the whole city together, man. It's beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful. JB Smooth, man. How's that energy over there?
Man. Yesterday was a movie. I don't even know what to tell you guys. Started off at the beginning of the game, just seeing everyone around Comerica Park in downtown. Even when I think it was TBS, started to go on for coverage of it. The reporter that they had out there on the concourse, you could barely hear her because the fans were just overpowering her when she was talking. I'm
Number
like,
10th in playoff atmosphere.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what we need right here. The city is hyped up and fired up and for this. Like the Tigers are going to win before the weekend, and like the city's just going to be turned up. This is crazy.
Listen, man, I asked Flannel before the show started. Yeah, I know we got a whole segment. So shall we save that until just before what's trending?
We can save that.
We'll
yes,
save that.
yes. But to put a bow on all of this, The Athletic is looking real stupid right now because you can't tell me that Petco Park or Yankees or it was a Kauffman. They were at Kansas City last night, or what was the other playoff game at? Or a City Field were better atmospheres yesterday than Comerica Park was. You cannot tell me that. Comerica Park is the best atmosphere in baseball when they're in the playoffs. And the fans were extra starving for it because it's been a long time. It's like a rabid dog getting put in front of a steak. That's what Tigers fans were, in a good way, of course. But
if you saw the scenes outside of it, I'm talking about you're looking at the Detroit Athletic Club and everybody on the roof, everybody taking pictures, people in parking structures, taking pictures, looking over at, they can't even see the game. They're just like, yo, this is as close as I can get to the action right now, and I can actually see the full stadium. It was dope to see the videos of people and the pictures of people outside, kind of like the bars where you can see into the stadium. So it's like, yeah, we know inside was rocking, but we know all of Detroit, all of the burbs, the entire state was absolutely on one, man. This is insane. This is so crazy right now. Nobody planned this right now.
Oh, it is a celebration. But do you know what else is a celebration?
It's a celebration.
Celebration, bitches.
Planet Fitness is a celebration as well because we got to pay some bills. And Planet Fitness, it's fitness that fits your budget. They've got over 50 Metro Detroit locations. They've got the lowest prices. They've got the black card for just a little bit of a bump in cost, but that means you get to get into any location across the United States and get use of the amenities. The amenities that you certainly want to have access to. It's fitness that fits your budget. It's where your fitness is essential. That's where a lot of us here go to get in such good shape, right? Come on, look at these guns. But anywho, it's Planet Fitness where your fitness is essential.
We need that sleeveless slam.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, KDK Law, if you're going through divorce, child custody, any kind of family law issues, you need excellence on your side, and KDK Law will certainly bring you excellence. They're your right-hand people when it comes to a situation that nobody wants to be involved in, but trust me, if you go to a KDK, you will be grateful in 5 to 10 years once some of the pain wears off and you can get into the practicalities of life after a divorce or child custody. It's KDK Law. It's Kevin and Catherine. They're located in Birmingham, and they are always available. If you need excellence on your side, go to KDK Law.
Oh, bro, listen, man. The energy is really starting to pick up. Like, I entered the building on fumes. Yeah. And it's like, you just, you got these schedules that pop up, your calendar and all of that. And usually you're like, oh my gosh, what's buzzing me this time? Well, this time it's 6 o'clock. Detroit Tigers have a chance to clinch. 6 to 9 o'clock, I'm going to find some time in between Tigers and Red Wings to go down to the Detroit Pistons. They're having their celebrity wheelchair game, which is awesome. And then Red Wings home opener, man. This is an electric time when you talk about October and the D, and we still got Lions to talk about tomorrow.
I would say that I am exhausted in the best way. And that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. We've got the privilege of covering these teams and bringing you this type of content. So I'm certainly not going to complain. If I got to be on fumes for the next couple of months, so be it.
And I know we got to talk about this bullpen, man.
Oh, yeah.
Masterful job, but Weezy D313. We got the best fake all-star in the league.
Weezy.
You talking about Mr. Greene?
Man, I'm sure you cheered real loud with that RBI single, Weezy. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all right. That's all right.
And you know what? When we saw it, nobody was surprised. We were happy, but everybody was like, there we go. Yeah. That's Riley.
You can't keep a guy that good down for that long.
Nah. Say it, Sam. You can't keep a good brother down for that long.
Bro,
you
as
can't
soon as
do
he said that, my KG, our translator, I absolutely love it, man.
Don't worry about it.
But we got to talk about this bullpen, including Mr. Bo Brisky leaving to a standing ovation. Man, they continue to work magic with this bullpen. AJ Hinch, Chris Fetter. Wow.
It's the same thing that they've done throughout a lot of the last part of the season, but on steroids. You obviously saw that one outing where it didn't work out, but that was the one game where you got clapped. But the other 2 times that they've tried bullpen games, they allowed 2 runs to the Astros in a win, and then they freaking shut out the Guardians in a win when they needed it, because you can't have Tarek Skubal go every single time. So you need the bullpen days to step up, and that's exactly what they did. It was all across the board. You saw Montero come in and pitch a 6-pitch scoreless first inning in which he got out Jose Ramirez and he got out Steven Kwan. Those are not easy matchups for Montero, but he got it done. We saw Brant Herter come in and be that bulk pitcher, and we were commenting in the watch party. It didn't look like he had his best stuff. There was a lot of traffic among the base paths, but Brant Herter continued to pitch out of it. He was, to cross terminology, he was a bend but don't break pitcher. That's what he was. 3 1/3, 5 hits allowed, but 0 earned runs. That's exactly what he needed to do. And then he gave way to Bo Brisky, who was not bend but don't break. He just broke everybody because that's what he does. That's what he's done this entire playoffs. He was like Sid
from Toy Story.
He was. There was no bend but don't break. He just had his best stuff, and he made the Guardian bats look silly no matter who that it was. Then you gave way to Gunther. You gave way to Will Vest, who made a big pitch that induced a line out, which wasn't the best pitch, but Matt Vierling caught it, so it was still an out.
LFG said, Kool-Aid, say it with your chest. Will Vest!
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. And I also have to shout out, I almost forgot to mention this about Bo Brisky because this is the most important thing. He came into a jam because, as I said before, Brant Herter wasn't great. He just grinded and managed to get outs. Bo Brisky entered with first and second, 1 out in the top of the 5th when it was a 2-0 game. And Bo Brisky made quick work of David Fry and Jose Ramirez. Those are all-stars, and Bo Brisky made them look silly. And then, of course, you go to Vest, and then who do they choose to close out the game? Tyler Holton for his redemption. We all knew he would redeem himself because throughout the season, he was one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. He had a bad outing. He didn't let it get to him, and AJ Hinch still had the trust that when we need somebody to save a game, there's pretty much nobody you'd rather have on your team do it than Tyler Holton. I love that they gave Tyler Holton his redemption and his confidence boost because if the Tigers are going to, dare I say, win the whole thing, Tyler Holton will be one of the biggest reasons you do it.
I'm so glad that you went there. That was the comment that was going to be on my mind. I was going to kind of just ask you guys the level of importance on this bullpen, getting this thing done right now. Do you understand what that means for getting Scoobs extra rest to be able to start ALCS game 1? That's why it's so important for them to get this thing done today. Shout out to Tyler Holton, man. I like the mullet on the back wall and all that stuff. But KG, man, this bullpen, it's been absolutely look at Tyler Holton, man. It's just a magical run right now. Everything is just roses right now.
It is.
But talk to me, man. This bullpen, what are they doing? This is not them beating some bad teams or some teams on their level to get to the playoffs. This isn't them against the Houston Astros, who people said, you know what? Yeah, sure, that's a matchup that they can have some success against. AJ Hinch knows them, blah, blah, blah. This is the Guardians, who we even saw people in this chat We saw Detroit sports fans out there. We heard narratives out there, even from national pundits who've all had to change that now, saying things like, no, we do not have the pitching. We do not have the hitting. We don't have the ability to go long-term with the Cleveland Cavaliers if this series is going to go that far. Now they got an opportunity to close this thing out in Detroit, largely in part due to the pitching. We all will give them a reprieve for that hangover game.
Yes,
game
sir.
1.
We got everything that we need right here in house, man. And I've never been so happy to lose a parlay in my life, because the way Cater Montero got pulled yesterday, I was sitting there like he could have went easily another 1 or 2 innings. But AJ Hinch, no problem. He brings in Brant Herter, and I know he got hit around a lot, but he did not give up any runs, man. Shout out to him. I thought he was maybe the MVP of this game in a lot of ways because of how he battled, with all that traffic on the base paths. But ultimately, man, you got Bo Brisky out there. My guy Sean Gunther out there putting up a 0. Will Vest, he's been a beast the whole postseason. And Tyler Holton getting his redemption story right here in the city of Detroit. And do we realize that since game 1, where the Tigers gave up 7 runs, they have now pitched 20 shutout innings to the Cleveland Guardians? This is absolutely amazing what we're seeing. They are the best pitching staff in the playoffs. I swear you cannot tell me any different.
Hey, shout out to Burn, $5 super chat. He doesn't disagree. He says our ace, and in parentheses, sorry, Scooble, and Cy Young winner is TBD. He's taking the mound today.
For real.
We got this.
That's a little aggressive, but you know what? You can say that after what they did to Cleveland's bats yesterday. I mean, a shutout,
insane.
a bullpen day shutout. Are you kidding me? If you're Cleveland right now, you're probably feeling pretty demoralized.
How do you explain this?
It's a shutout.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like everybody had their best stuff. I mentioned it about two people that definitely did not were Brant Herter and Sean Gunther. But they both left to jams, and Bo Brisky and Will Vest had their teammates' backs. And then, as I said about Brant, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You can't say enough about Brant Herter. He just grinded through that. And then. And you're going to have at least one guy to go multiple innings. You can't just have 9 different pitchers. And Brant Herter was the one, man.
I don't know they can.
I mean, they probably can. But
the way they pitching right now, man. But it's so hard to game plan where you're facing so many different arms, man. And this is where it goes back to A.J. Hinch playing chess and not checkers. You forced the Cleveland Guardians manager, Stephen Vaught, to empty the clip, man, in terms of pinch hitters. Like, it was absolutely amazing. And by the end of this game, your best relievers were out there, and some of their not best hitters were going to get some of your best relievers. This is exactly what AJ wanted, man. He is chefing this thing up amazingly, man.
These are the things that we talked about from the beginning of the season, and it's awesome to see them have this opportunity right now to be a little bit more of what we thought they were at the beginning. And it's crazy. Like, we know Tigers, they shut them out. But it's different when you look at the box score and you see 6 different pitchers, and it's just zeros for all of the ERA. It's just like, keep this thing going. AJ Hinch, we talked about it. That's not a weakness of theirs. It's not a weakness of theirs that they have a lot of different pitchers that they can utilize in a game. It's going to keep the other team off balance. How do you prepare for this?
Well, Stephen Vogt didn't prepare correctly. And I'm going to elaborate on that quite a bit in the next segment. But do you want to hear some other zeros? Do you want to hear some more zeros?
I want to hear some more zeros.
Give me some more.
Give me some more.
What's Cater Montero's postseason ERA this year?
I'm going to say 0.
What's Brant Herter's?
0.
What's Bo Brisky's?
0.
What's Sean Gunther's?
0.
What's Will Vest's?
0.
Those are 5 of the 6 guys who went yesterday. And this wasn't yesterday. This was the entire postseason over a 5-game sample size. And the other one, of course, was Tyler Holton. And besides for that one implosion, he's had 3 scoreless outings. And he will finish this postseason strong.
LFG
so happy for him.
Happy for him. LFG said 22 scoreless innings, and it's just amazing, Flan. My question, how are they bookending such great bullpen pitching? The start of the season and now the playoffs. It's still wild to me. I just keep sitting here like, bro, they have a chance to send the Guardians home today.
Well, it's so funny, too, that you mentioned that, because you talk about the beginning of the year when their bullpen was dominant, and now when their bullpen was dominant. When you look at the beginning of the season, the story of their bullpen was Jason Foley and Shelby Miller.
Yep.
And then you look at...
Friend of the show, Shelby.
Absolutely, friend of the show. But when you look at the Tigers pitching staff now, when you look at the guys who pitched yesterday, Cater Montero was not on the opening day roster. Brant Herter was not on the opening day roster. Bo Brisky was not on the opening day roster, and Sean Gunther was not on the opening day roster.
That's crazy.
So it's bookended by dominant bullpen at the beginning, dominant bullpen at the end, but it's so differently the way that it's used. It's just, I know, it makes a grown man cry, right?
It does, man. But you're a freaking machine with this info, dog. I swear. Like, I promise you, man, like, this stuff it's awesome, man, especially when you see how they're doing this. Really, it makes me that much more confident in the process, the organization, and the game plan of AJ Hinch. It almost feels like as long as Harris continues to get the type or the mold of players that AJ Hinch can work with, like you looked, Baez was not a player I believe Hinch wanted to work with.
No.
And there were hints throughout some of the press conferences that made me believe he does not want to play this guy, but he's in a position to where he has to play this guy. And then all of a sudden you get a few more players that kind of fit the mold of AJ Hinch, and it's just like,
yep. Hey, and you got to give I got to give Neil Rule credit on that one. That Javi Baez rant he had when it was still looking like the Tigers weren't going to make the playoffs, it was absolutely stuff of legends. You know myself, KG, everyone on this show, everyone on most shows, Heavyweights, Big D Energy, even E&E, we were all clamoring for Javi Baez to, not all of us to be shot to the moon, but stop playing. Yeah. And look what happens once he starts playing, and you even get somebody like Trey Sweeney, who's not great, but he was better than Javi, and he had the flair for some big moments. Look how big of a difference that makes, along with other things as well. But this team, just the way that they've reshaped throughout, from the beginning to the end, to some of the guys coming back from the minors, these guys that you had no prediction were going to be on the team when the season was going to be over are now some of your MVPs, like the Brant Herders and the Sean Gunthers of the world. You just love to see it. But there's been one guy who has consistently been pulling the right strings, who I never wavered in my belief for. Never wavered. Like I said before, don't let that thing like video evidence of me putting him on the hot seat.
AI is real. It's a real thing today, man.
Well, it was more than putting him on the hot seat. But don't let that video evidence deter you from the fact that I never said it.
No,
I'm kidding, of course.
You put him where you wanted to put Killian Hayes.
Jesus Christ. That was a idiotic statement by old Flannel Sam, but you know what's not idiotic.
Today's for Kumbaya,
yes.
though.
Do you know what's not idiotic?
Go.
Oh man, I got the wrong one. The Woodward and Maine. Woodward and Maine, of course. I had a flannel malfunction for a second.
Get it together, Sam.
Woodward and Maine. You've got Matt Broder. You've got Terry Foster. They bring you all of the best Lions game day coverage. You've got the insider information. You've got the experiences of somebody who has covered Detroit sports for longer than most of us have been born. Please start your Lions game day off with Woodward and Maine, and then, of course, you go to the pregame show. Look at those men right there with those faces. You want to learn Lions from those? I know you do, of course. Absolutely, and you'll get some of that as well. All of the best pregame coverage, all of the best coverage from even around the NFL. Neil Rule and Sean Baligian are such a great combination, and they will bring that to you as well. And it is sponsored by Sabbath Coffee, Taller Your Local Long Drink, and Tangerine Space Machine. It's Woodward and Maine and the Woodward pregame show.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
That Tangerine Space Machine is an easy drinking IPA that is out of this world. Smooth and juicy with a refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with Tangerine Space Machine. Grab yourself a can of this intergalactic haze of goodness. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is the official beer of outer space. They know about this on the moon. I'm telling you right now, they don't go anywhere without it. It's the Tangerine Space Machine, brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan. So you know you can support locally. But if you don't like IPAs, you can always have some coffee with Sabbath.
Hey, and that too is local. Fuel your Detroit sports fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And we are back. What up, dope people, man? Hey, it is an October in the D type of day today. Got several teams that are going to be active. Some big implications for the Detroit Tigers today. And they've gotten there largely based on situational and timely hits and strong pitching. Hey, Men in Black have already taken care of that Game 1 hangover against the Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't matter. Fetter, AJ Hinch, man, they've been magic. They've been a godsend to this franchise. And honestly, you see how this winning for the Detroit Tigers is connecting people. And so I'm never going to undersell that part at all.
Oh, no. And yesterday, I think, was, you could argue in a lot of ways, it was the magnum opus of the AJ Hinch and Chris Fetter combination. And Dirty Dr. D, I will never forget the AJ Hinch take, Sam. You shouldn't be able to talk about Hinch magic at all the rest of the season. He adds an LOL. All I can ask for is forgiveness. I will remake Sorry 2004 by Ruben Studdard to make it Sorry 2024, me to AJ Hinch. Well, if that's what you need me to do, I will do it, because all I can ask for is forgiveness. You guys can hold me accountable for the rest of my life, and I know you will, but just find it in your hearts to forgive.
What was it you said the other day? You said you're gonna gatekeep like a mofo. I think the chat should be entitled to the same thing when it comes to AJ Hinch. You guys gatekeep AJ Hinch like a mofo.
Well, the difference is I have apologized numerous times. I will get on my damn knees and apologize.
I'm sorry for
2024. But no, but
get on those white knees.
They are very, very white, and they are oddly famous because of those Feldman shows. But
and the OnlyFans too.
Anywho, moving on. Yeah, I want to start with AJ Hinch, because AJ Hinch clearly had Stephen Vogt squirming from almost inning one of the game, because AJ Hinch started Cater Montero. And when Stephen Vogt was doing his scouting, he probably looked at Cater Montero as somebody who was going to actually start, not somebody who was going to open. And what did Cater Montero do? He pitched a 1-2-3 first on 6 pitches, getting out Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez, and then he was immediately yanked for Brant Herter. What does that force Stephen Vogt to do? He had hit at the beginning of his lineup 2 left-handed platoon players, Kyle Manzardo and Will Brennan. So the second that Stephen Vogt saw Brant Herter in the game for the Tigers, he decided to go to his bench right away. And in the top of the second, he hit John Kensky Noel for Will Brennan. And in the top of the third, Stephen Vogt pinch hit David Fry for Kyle Manzardo. And what that does right away is that later on in the game, when you have other instances where you can play the matchup, say if you're Stephen Vogt and you see Bo Brisky on the mound, you might say to yourself, oh, Kyle Manzardo, grab a bat. Oh, that's right, I already burned him.
Yep.
Oh, Will Brennan, go grab yourself a bat. Oh, that's right, I already burned him. In the second and third inning, 2 of your better left-handed bats in terms of platoon bats were already gone, and it was just because Stephen Vogt panicked. If I were Stephen Vogt, I would have just probably kept the lineup the same, but at that point, the Tigers had already taken a 1-0 lead. The Cleveland had lost home field advantage, and I think Stephen Vogt panicked, and A.J. Hinch absolutely managed circles around Stephen Vogt. And I respect Stephen Vogt, but I think after that performance, I know that it's a regular season award. The Manager of the Year award is A.J. Hinch's and A.J. Hinch's only.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And what I love is how he has managed to study and keep this ship steady amidst all of the ups and downs. We've seen this team be resilient. So after that Game 1 loss, where they got absolutely obliterated in that first inning, they still settled down within that game, to KG's point. That was something I remember you trumpeted several times after that game. Like, nah, they still had opportunities to get back into this. And I do believe that how battle-tested they were, how resilient weathered they were from the season plays a big role and a big part in what they're doing right now, especially after you get a little bit healthy. You make a few tweaks to your roster at the trade deadline. You bring up a couple more players, like you stated, that weren't even here on the opening day roster, and it gives A.J. Hinch everything he needs to do what he has to do. And it's a beautiful thing to see that A.J. Hinch, we've continued to say this, he's like a puppet master, man, just kind of pulling he is definitely pulling all of the right strings right now.
Oh, he absolutely is. And Chuck Brewer even furthers my point. And he had to pinch hit for a batter who never saw a pitch. Yeah, Will Brennan never even took an at-bat before he was yanked for John Kensky Noel, just because Hinch had brought in a lefty in Brant Herter. And I get it. Brant Herter had outings where he bulk pitched 5 innings, but I think that was an absolute panic move by a Vogt, and A.J. Hinch completely won the chess match and outsmarted, and definitely outsmarted.
He got what he wanted anyway.
Absolutely. Got what he wanted anyway. And but none of this works, though, if the players don't play. And the examples that I give for that, and this is to where I have to give Chris Fetter the credit. Cater Montero was put into a rough situation. Going up against Steven Kwan and Jose Ramirez, those are not favorable matchups for a right-handed pitcher, particularly one in Cater Montero who had a lot of good moments, but I'd say his results were mixed. And this is where the Chris Fetter factor comes in, because Cater Montero, like a lot of others, had better numbers with the Tigers than he did in AAA with Toledo this year. And he, even though the matchup wasn't favorable, he went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Brant Herter's another one. This is another Chris Fetter masterclass because he had terrible numbers in AAA this year, but came up this season, had an ERA of about 2.5, had 6 wins, including, I believe he got the win in yesterday's game as well. That's another thing, though. Brant Herter pitched 3 1/3. You can't play the matchups game and pitch 3 1/3. You're going to have to face everybody. But he went through that entire Cleveland Guardians lineup unscathed. And Bo Brisky the same. He came in and he had to get out Jose Ramirez. Not favorable for anybody, but he got that done. So A.J. Hinch deserves the credit for pulling all of the right strings, but also the pitchers who play. Even though some of them were not put in the perfect situation, they went out and did their thing. And Chris Fetter deserves a lot of the credit for the development of guys like Cater Montero and Brant Herter specifically.
That's true, but Sam, I want to give you credit for this because you said this a couple days ago, and at the time you said it, it still hadn't all the way registered with me. But after seeing yesterday, I mean, we got to start acknowledging these guys. And I know we already talked about the pitchers and everything, but we just got to start acknowledging these guys that they are more than, what we thought they were. They aren't just nobodies. Chris Fetter can do all of the great coaching and managing in the world. You still got to go out there and execute, man. And now we have seen it on a consistent basis from August until now, and now they're doing it on the biggest stage. I think it's time we give these relievers a little more credit. I know we aren't doing this the traditional way, but we do have the best pitcher in baseball, but this would not be possible without just how they've executed in that bullpen, man. And I got to give you credit for that, Sam.
No, and I'm so glad you mentioned that because during the most important stretch of the season, Sean Gunther put up Emmanuel Clase numbers, Emmanuel Clase regular season numbers. Let me be very specific. Emmanuel Clase regular season numbers. But Sean Gunther did that from August on. You saw Brennan Hanafy had an ERA of under 2. You saw Brant Herter, as I mentioned, it was either 5-1 or 6-1, had an ERA of about 2.6. You saw that with Bo Brisky absolutely dominate down the stretch, and Tyler Holton, who we already know is good, but we can't just forget about him. These guys, it's not just, and I know when you hear the names, when you see how they had to put this team together, that I think it lends to them getting undersold just a little bit. They're not just a bunch of journeymen. These are good pitchers. These are good pitchers who have been developed under Chris Fetter and have gone out there and succeeded during pseudo playoff games in August and September and actual playoff games. Do you remember all of the zeros that this bullpen is putting up? Brant Herter, anybody? Cater Montero, anybody? Will Vest, anybody? This is just a damn good bullpen, talented bullpen.
Rewind the tapes. It was one of the strengths that we talked about with this squad, the fact that we knew on the days that Skubal isn't going, we have the pitchers, not just that can burn up innings, but gives us a great opportunity in long relief to win games. And that's what we've seen this team do, and we knew that they were going to have to do that. You can't just roll out what we used to have when you had Price, we had Verlander, we had Scherzer. That's not going to work every single time. And you know what? I'm glad that the organization, if you're going to have a foundation, is saying, you know what? Let's find something that we know we can make work and then build up from there. And to see them have this type of success, this is what made me so optimistic heading into the playoffs. This is what made me optimistic heading down the stretch. It's what made me so optimistic even before the Cleveland Guardians game series, where we saw some fans that were a little bit worried and concerned, and logically so. But, because some people say, well, they've done it over the course of a season. No, they didn't, because for the last 2 to 3 months, the Detroit Tigers were doing it as the best team in baseball. And that has to count for something. And that, to me, is where I see Cleveland Guardian fans like, what is going on? That's the point. Y'all didn't let what we've put on wax count for anything. You can keep trying to discount, but Detroit just keeps showing up on a national stage and doing work, and it's beautiful.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter how you got in as long as you get into the dance. And I think two players that are as emblematic of that as you can possibly think of, those are the Tiger Kings, Riley Greene and Spencer Torkelson, and we're going to talk about them when we come back because both of them had their playoff moments.
Before we get into this next, I think we have an unofficial mascot of this run. I think some would say the Tigers are white hot right now. And your knees have taken over the chat.
Yes.
Mike G, Sam, them white knees can get you into the white party at the Rooster Tail.
Thank you. No,
Phil said Sam's knees need their own segment. Oh, no. There's a few more, man. These people, they love flannel knees. Shot, only knees.
Shot.
Shot.
Sam's wife gets turned on by Sam's knees. That's from Phil, who also bought you a coffee, too.
I mean, I don't think that's what she gets turned on by, but who? Hey, they're pretty nice knees, right? At least you guys think so. I think my knees are kind of mediocre, but that's all right. But the point is that I will have that rug burn from apologizing to AJ Hinch so much. At least I'm accountable. Come on, just forgive me. Find it in your cold hearts to forgive, right?
Listen, y'all gotta forgive a person who's willing to get rug burns. Apologizing to Miss AJ Hinch.
God, that was a bad take by me. Sorry, KG. You tried to tell me, and I was so steadfast.
Sorry, man. This is what friends are for, man. That's what I'm here for.
Oh man, you know. Let's get to this next segment because we got to talk about this team effort, and there's some stars to this game. And I know people are like, "Oh, you guys only talk about Riley Greene."
No,
listen.
Spencer Torkelson deserves his flowers.
X Factor. He showed up.
Yeah.
Walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today, open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Hot leather freaks in the chat. Take advantage of one of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code somewhere up there on the screen.
You like that leather.
Hey, you get your coupons today. Listen, they got the leather chairs in there for the scalp massage, right?
You got some chaps somewhere.
Open
your R&B singing ass.
Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it is wicked awesome.
And now I got to do it. Just like Kool-Aid said, you can scan a QR code somewhere on the screen.
Money for chaps.
QR code for Caesar Sportsbook, official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code. Use code Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000. All you got to do is place a minimum $20 bet. If it doesn't hit, they will deposit that right back into your account. I'm not playing. Get some money for some chaps this weekend. and bet on the Tigers because you know what? Someone let the Tigers get hot, baby.
Hey.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Oh, our chat. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine.
Secret sauce in chat.
Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during the Body of Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Back trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. What up, though, people, man? This is what victory feels like. It's Detroit, October in the D. Oh, my gosh, Dr. Dirty G. What a comment. I'm not reading it. He said, sorry, Kool-Aid. Oh, man. Tigers get going at 6 today. Red Wings home opener at 8. All on the legendary Woodward Avenue.
Absolutely. And I didn't even mention this at the beginning because we were so preoccupied with Tigers. Justin. That dude Justin is going to VMix in at about 9:15 to talk about the Red Wings on the morning of their season opener. Man, so many of these teams like the Red Wings and the Lions even, and most certainly the Pistons, are taking a back seat because the Tigers are on such a great playoff run. And do you know who stepped up big last night? Among others, of course, Riley Greene and Spencer Torkelson.
Hey, let's go.
And when it comes to what they did last night, the only thing that I'm left with is, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Of course, the classic Moneyball line. Because when we looked at the Tigers, when we looked at their rebuild, when you looked at the 2022 Baseball America cover, it was Riley Greene and Spencer Torkelson as the Tiger Kings. They were supposed to be the ones that were going to lead the Tigers back to the promised land. And both of them have had a lot of adversity in their young careers. With Riley Greene in his first 2 seasons, it was about injuries. Both of those seasons, he played less than 100 games. With Spencer Torkelson, it's been with a lot of struggles. His rookie year was bad. He got sent to the minors this year because he was playing so poorly, but to his credit, he did play better when he got brought up, but he had some postseason struggles. Riley Greene, of course, broke out, had an all-star season, was one of the main catalysts in the Tigers making the playoffs, but the point is that once you get there, you got to contribute. You can contribute no matter where you are, no matter if you were sent to the minors, no matter if you were an all-star, you can contribute. And last night, after both of them having postseasons that have not been up to their standards, Riley Greene got a big base hit in the bottom of the first to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead with 2 outs, by the way. And then in the bottom of the 6th, it was Spencer Torkelson that gave the Tigers an insurance run with an absolute screamer of a double that drove in Colt Keith, who also is another one that got going in the playoffs as well. So I just love to see it. Riley Greene and Spencer Torkelson being two of the offensive catalysts leading a Tigers team to a playoff win. Like we all predicted in 2022, right? It didn't work out exactly linearly, but the point is that if you make it to the playoff roster, you can contribute, you can make your legend, and Riley Greene and Spencer Torkelson both had playoff moments last night.
And you know what? It's not what we predicted, but it's what we said we needed. And when we looked back and we knew, okay, this game is probably safe in the Tigers' hands. I sent that to the box score, the scoring plays, to the group chat, like, yo, bro, these are the names that us in the chat family were all saying, you know what? We might not be able to predict it, but we know we need these guys to show up. Yep. And whether they were the ones getting the hits or the ones scoring, it was all the names you love to see, like Veerling. It was the names you wanted to see, like Torque, who he has to continue to be an X factor from this point forward.
Sure, and no matter what happens moving forward, which let's hope that they continue on this stretch, both of them had playoff moments, and as Chuck Brewer says, they can maybe be a little bit more relaxed because Riley Greene had a couple of more really good at-bats. His second at-bat, he hit the ball on the button. It just went to the second baseman, and then Riley Greene had that flare, which was caught by Stephen Kwan when it looked like he was about to get a 2 RBI single, but that's all well and good because in theory, all the Tigers needed because of their amazing bullpen performance was that 1 RBI which Riley Greene gave you, but there is nothing better. There is nothing better, I think, in all of sports than late inning playoff insurance runs. And Spencer Torkelson, he was one of the heroes yesterday. And shout out to Colt Keith as well for getting on base, for getting his first hit of the postseason, just like Spencer Torkelson did to set everything up.
That was another name that popped up. And you know what? For those guys, if the Detroit Tigers are going to push this into the ALCS, you want to see Torque, you want to see Colt Keith. You want them to get comfortable and confident getting hits, understanding they're getting on base, and getting a little bit more comfortable at the plate so that they can give you an opportunity. If they are hot, if they can just give you something average, this Detroit Tigers team goes to a different level as they go into an ALCS if they win.
Well, you'd think at least with Riley Greene that some progression to the mean happens.
Oh,
and I wanted to ask you, KG, do you think this is... I'll ask you about both. Do you think it could be a start of a hot streak for Riley Greene, Spencer Torkelson, Colt Keith, anyone you want to mention?
Fake all-star.
Trying.
But Riley Greene in particular, I do feel like this is the beginning of something for him. Of course, he struggled throughout this playoffs, but he is one of your better hitters. Sam said it, perfect the last couple days. He's leading in every statistical category as far as hitting on this team. He is your best player, so you need your best players to step up in the biggest moments. And Riley Greene finally getting that monkey off his back, I think, goes a long way to what the Tigers want to do long term, hopefully during this playoff run. Torque, I want to be patient with Torque. And, yesterday during the watch party, a lot of people was piling on Torque to the point where even I had to say, all right, let's try to wait until the season is over before we critically judge Torque. And clearly, we've all seen his struggles. We've all seen, his end of regular season and what he's done in the playoffs. It hasn't been so good, but for him to come through in this spot yesterday, it was huge, man. And that can't be understated, man. This is a team effort. You have to pick up the guy next to you, man. And this is what this Tiger team is built on, man. Everybody playing for each other. So I'm not worried about, the particulars right now. He contributed. I'm happy with that. But let's wait, before we cast final judgment on Torque until after this playoff run is over.
That's well said, too, because when I saw a lot of people celebrating for Torque yesterday, even if there were people who might have been like, you know what, maybe it's time to move on towards the end of this season, it seemed as if it was people who were emotionally invested in seeing him do something positive throughout his career, and you finally see him come through in this big moment. Like, it's playoff baseball in Detroit, and Torque is going to be remembered forever, especially if this run goes on a little bit further. These are the moments that I believe people are going to remember.
Yeah, and he gets to remake his whole legacy because Spencer Torkelson, let's not get it twisted, was not one of the driving forces in why they made the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. He played better at the end of the year than he did at the beginning, but Once you get there and you're in the starting lineup, you get the same opportunity as everybody else to get a big hit, to make a big play in the field. And Spencer Torkelson, he's done it in the field so far, but at the plate, that was his first postseason hit ever, and he couldn't have come in with more like a wrecking ball than he did yesterday.
Yeah, and he's been good defensively, and
Absolutely.
that's an area that he struggled with as well. But so far in the playoffs, he's made some key defensive plays. So you got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, I mean, in the postseason, you need you guys to step up. Baseball's a long season, 162 games all throughout the season. Riley Greene has been our leader. I think we can rely on him. Just got to be patient in the postseason. Look at Cleveland. Jose Ramirez isn't having a good series. Like, their best player. Like, Riley Greene stepped up last game. We have a lead in this series. When your best player doesn't show up, it makes it a lot harder to win. Riley Greene and Torque stepping up right now. I mean, it's the reason why we're able to, possibly push into the ALCS. And also, like KG was saying and Sam saying too, like, new playoffs is a whole clean slate, new format. So, you got guys like Jake Rogers really showing up and stepping out.
Yeah,
Walrus, baby.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about the scoring summary. It was Green single to center, Meadows scored in the first. In the third, Veerling hit sacrifice fly to left. Hey, Rake Rogers scored. In the sixth, Spencer Torkelson double to left. Cole Keith scored.
Yeah, let's not forget about Parker Meadows as well, who led off the game with the single. That's,
yep.
I mean, getting leadoff men on. If you get leadoff men on base consistently, you're gonna win the most of the games that you play. That's not rocket science. That's not hard hitting analysis. But I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle. That Riley Greene had to drive someone in for the first run scored in a playoff game at Comerica Park since 2014, and that was Parker Meadows.
Yeah, and I know we got to talk a little bit more about Mr. Jake Rogers as well.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Is he making his way into being one of your godsons?
The new David Freeze.
He's making.
I told you.
I am so glad that you brought that up because I might even make a connection between those two in this next segment. You never know where I'm gonna go. But we're gonna talk about some of the unlikely heroes for the Tigers this postseason.
Let's go.
Because they've got a couple.
Let's rock. Hey, look, now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure that your current carrier is not slipping in anything extra. They're here to protect you. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit them online, swissins.com, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringing begins on Friday, November 7th and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com.
And while you're helping out the Salvation Army, hopefully you're wearing some Woodward Sports merch. We got the Stoke Not Scared shirts. We got the Boo the Kid shirts as well, too.
You can even welcome people to Detroit with a shirt.
We don't got that shirt
it's
anymore.
gone.
It's gone.
Let it go.
It is off the website. But we also got the Woodward Tigers as well, too. You know what? You should be wearing this down at Comerica Park as well. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. The Tigers are 1 win away, baby.
1 win away, baby. You know what, man? The way JB said it just sound like an R&B song, man.
Yeah.
So you know what? We might need the people to go on ahead and
shit.
satisfy that like button real quick. Treat it right. Treated nice.
Hey, you know, we came in the building already satisfied, man. The Tigers feeling that long, cold void that we had in our hearts, man. But go ahead and hit that like button and support the crew, man.
Hey,
we need a little bit of
like
touching too now, every now and again.
Hey, let's rock. And you know what, man? Jake Rogers, Rake Rogers, whatever you call him, this guy, man, is he starting to, this is probably the most important question, is he starting to unseat some of the best utility or those popular players in Detroit Tigers history? But we got like Brandon Hinch, we got Johnny Kelly, baby.
Of course he is. 100% he is. Obviously, he's got all of the makings of a cult hero. He's just a good old boy from Texas who has a walrus mustache and just catches and is shown out in the playoffs. No, but seriously, he can be one of the greatest cult heroes in the history of Detroit. He already has his spot in Detroit sports lore, because after 5 playoff games, you know the regular season Tigers stats that I like to point out when it comes to Riley Greene leads in everything. When you look at the 2024 postseason stats, you see average Rogers, on base percentage Rogers, hits Rogers. The man has been lights out at the plate. And the Shaquille Oatmeal, I know we have a lot of disagreements, but I gotta read this. Y'all appreciating Rake Rogers for the wrong reason. Yes, he's been hitting, but the way he's calling pitches for our guys has been insane. He's studying each at-bat, and just as AJ. And for the record, I did say yesterday that over the totality of the season has been Jake Rogers' greatest value to the team.
We've been calling him Mr. Nate Sudfeld of the Tigers.
Well, more, but
I know.
more. Don't compare the two. I know
you know what I mean.
No, I do, but yeah, no. Especially with being the personal catcher for Tarek. I believe he's caught every single inning Tarek Skubal has pitched, and Tarek Skubal's going to win the Cy Young, and he's been better than playoffs. You got to have that guy who you can trust in the catcher position. But the thing is, when you think of things that are synonymous with postseason runs, you think of good pitching, which the Tigers have certainly had. You think of some nice balls bouncing your way, like the liner Jason Hayward hit right at Spencer Torkelson, the liner that David Fry hit, which Matt Vierling was able to make a leaping catch on. You got to get some of those. You got to get good play from your stars as well. And you've seen, and I think the 2 offensive stars this season have been Kerry Carpenter and Riley Greene, and you can even throw Parker Meadows in that as well. Parker Meadows hit hit a home run in the first game of the playoffs to start the scoring. Kerry Carpenter, we all know what he did with a 3-run homer in Game 2, and then we saw with Riley Greene get the scoring started with an RBI single. You got to have that. But one of the other hallmarks of great postseason play is having an unsung hero step up to where you're like, this guy? Like, I'll give you a couple of examples. A couple of the greatest examples. You mentioned David Freese, KG. The Cardinals won the World Series in both 2006 and 2011. Surely Albert Pujols was the World Series MVP in one of them.
Nah.
No, it was David Eckstein in 2006 and David Freese in 2011. In 2021, surely Ronald Acuna was the World Series MVP for the Braves.
He was hurt.
He didn't even play. But the Braves were like, no problem. We got Jorge Soler. In 2022, surely it was Jose Altuve or Yordan Alvarez or Kyle Tucker or Alex Bregman who won the World Series MVP.
It was a rookie.
It was the cameras.
2022 is different. It was Jeremy Pena. And Jose Altuve had a morbid postseason. 2018, I'll give one more example.
Where'd you get this one from?
Chase Amley. Shout out Chase. No, you're absolutely right. We talked off air one day, and he reminded me that in 2018, surely it was Mookie Betts or JD Martinez who was World Series MVP, right? No, it was some guy that probably nobody's ever heard of, because why should you? In Steve Pearce.
Yeah.
The point is that it's a tale as old as time, having a guy like Jake Rogers, having a guy who you never think of step up and having some of his biggest moments in the playoffs. And at times, judging by the other players' World Series MVPs and Jake Rogers leading the team in so many hitting categories, not only being someone who steps up, but by being one of the driving forces. Jake Rogers is the offensive MVP for the Tigers in the playoffs.
Yep.
I'm saying it. Me, somebody who has sometimes been hesitant to give role players credit. I can't be hesitant. Jake Rogers has been the MVP of the playoffs, and the Tigers are having their version of David Freese, their version of David Eckstein, their version of Jeremy Pena, their version of Stephen Pearce. And that might be one of the things that carries the Tigers to winning it all.
We might need a Jake Rogers flannel jersey watch. Chuck Brewer also made this point in the chat, catching 6 separate pitchers in one game and caught a shutout. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's doing so much right now. What do we got to do to get you in a Jake Rogers jersey? What's the watch? Let's set it up. Let's keep the mojos going.
You know what? I think I will get the jersey of whoever, if they get that far, wins the World Series MVP.
Ooh.
No matter who it is.
Ooh. Get there.
If they get
there.
I'm not trying to jinx him. I say if, but I will absolutely do that. I will get that, and I will still get the JMO jersey if he gets over 1,000 receiving yards, which he is on pace to succeed.
All I know is the Walrus won't be denied.
Look at Flannel just tormenting himself with Detroit sports success.
No, I mean,
I love it. No,
I'm just saying, but I can't even deny what I'm looking at. Jake Rogers, you could argue, has been the defensive MVP and the offensive MVP. And it's just, like I said, though, it's a tale as old as time. Like I said, Steve Pierce, Jorge Soler when Ronald Acuna was injured, Jeremy Pena when you had Altuve being morbid in the postseason, the unlikely heroes. I'm not going to say it's a phenomenon that's unique to the MLB because you see it in the NHL too, and you see it occasionally in the NFL, but think about this. Imagine the Bulls in the 90s winning a championship with no Michael Jordan. That's essentially what the Braves did. It's a different sport, but baseball is
and
just...
the Bulls tried it.
They did. They did.
They didn't get
but
it.
they didn't get there. But baseball is just like that. Sometimes you get somebody who may have struggled in the regular season, what Jake Rogers did, show out in the playoffs, and I love to see it. They are not where they are right now if not for Jake Rogers.
KG, man, Mr. Jake Rogers, how you feeling about him?
I mean, Sam encapsulated it all. It's not just what he's done behind the plate. It's what he's done actually catching for a lot of these pitchers, man. I'm pretty sure it's difficult to call a game for one pitcher, let alone 7, 6, 7 a game. Like, this is absolutely amazing what we're seeing Jake Rogers do. And I know, we make the jokes and the David Freese and all that, but you do need, your role players to sometimes play above themselves when you're in situations like this.
Talk about it.
And we didn't expect this from Jake Rogers. Let's just be real about it. Like, the guy, he had I believe a 160 average, coming into the playoffs. He wasn't one of your best guys, man, but what he's done catching and what he's done at the plate in the playoffs has been absolutely amazing. Shout out to him.
Hey, and you know what, man? What's a Detroit playoff run without your role players?
Yeah. Gotta have them.
We talk about the aspect of defense, but what role players here have always emblemized is not just somebody who's playing a specific, hey, you know what, he played a good three-point shooting role. No, it's always somebody who we associate with hustling, with doing more, with elevating their level of play, with bringing consistency, with being one of those kind of stabilizing forces to any team. That's what we know about those guys here in Detroit. And so now that we got one of those guys, it bodes very well for the Detroit Tigers in these playoffs.
And nobody loves role players like old Flannel Sam.
Right? And depending on how this ends, we might be able to finally put to bed that we lost the Jake Rogers straight.
Oh, wow.
We just think about it. Think about it. Thank you, Alavila.
Yeah, right. Bro, if they win the World Series, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And if Jake Rogers continues what he's done, I don't think he will hit 300 the whole playoffs, for the record, and that's not hate. But if he does, if he can somehow pick up a CS MVP and or a World Series MVP, then yeah, the Alavila trade, all of that, it's forgiven. It's at the very least square.
Yeah.
Because Justin Verlander did his job for Houston.
Absolutely.
Ryan's reaction. Ben Wallace, Darren McCarty, Jake Rogers.
I mean, he's I think Ben Wallace is in a tier above those other two for a record. But yeah, Jake Rogers, I'm sure D-Mac sees a lot of himself in Jake Rogers. But before we move on to Justin, there's one other person I need to shout out because I have him in the prep as well. Justin Henry Malloy, man. All that man has done in the playoffs is just come to bat when it's his call, when he's usually pinch hitting for Kerry Carpenter, and get on base. Did you know that Justin Henry Malloy, he's not a qualified hitter, so he doesn't have like the numbers to lead the Tigers postseason, but in, I believe it's 8 plate appearances, 8 or 9, he has a 1.417 OPS.
Wow.
Bananas. He's been absolutely huge. He did get out trying to stretch a single into a double. But still, that counts as a hit. And Justin Henry-Malloy, just another one. You saw last night. It's so funny because Kerry Carpenter, and I think it's hilarious, your reward for getting one of the biggest hits in Tigers history and for having a 932 OPS is, get on the bench. Justin Henry-Malloy's coming in for you.
Yep.
But what does Justin Henry-Malloy do? He walks.
Yep.
It works.
He ain't just getting thrown out there for no reason.
Always works.
JHM has one of the best approaches at the plate on this team, period, man. And that's why I'm a big fan of him. The numbers may not be there, but when you watch him at the plate, you can just tell, like, he's a level above in terms of, like, plate discipline and what they ask him to do when he's up there. And this is why he has so much success in terms of getting on base.
Listen, it's a complete buy-in from everybody. Yeah. You talk about these pitchers, they're good pitchers. Don't you think they would want expanded roles? Or one would think so. Yeah, even a Kerry Carpenter, I'm sure he's definitely has the right to be feeling himself right now, especially after the big home run. But these guys are completely bought into whatever A.J. Hinch is selling, whatever he's selling. And that's why I continue to go back to the fact that even though they've been the best team in baseball the last 2 to 3 months, for them to have had the opportunity to be that, they had to continue to fight. Before those 2 to 3 months, they had to continue to stave off the losing runs that looked like, oh, here we go, the wheels are just going to pop off. They continued all year to battle injuries, battle the bullpen changing, the pitchers changing. And that, to me, when you have so much that's changing, there's a consistency there. And that is A.J. Hinch. And that message that continues to go. And then that's where it does. When we talk about your big guys like Skubal and your Riley Greens, that's why it's important to have those guys in the mix as well, being leaders, aside from just being guys who are, and being good team players, aside from just, I'm going out here to do my job. And that, to me, is something that is injected into a team identity from the head coach on down.
Because if you're Kerry Carpenter, I know that the numbers haven't borne this out, but he probably thinks he can hit lefties. And he has at times. I believe he had 1 home run versus left-handed pitching this year, but over totality, he was not good. But when he gets pinch hit for, when Justin Henry-Malloy comes up for him, when Kerry Carpenter doesn't even start a game in which there's an opposing left-handed starter on the mound, he doesn't pout, he doesn't sulk, he stays ready. He stays ready so he doesn't have to get ready.
Yep.
And when Justin Henry-Malloy comes in pinch hits for him, when Justin Henry-Malloy draws a walk, who's up there cheering? Who's up there saying like, way to go, JHM? It's Kerry Carpenter. That's team culture, man.
That's a Harris guy.
Yep, JHM is a Harris guy.
I know we got that dude Justin on the line, and we got to give these Detroit Red Wings, they need their platform as well. Home opener tonight. A season that we expect to end similarly to how we see the Detroit Tigers going right now, with a playoff appearance and being able to have an opportunity to make some noise. I can't wait, man. Let's get into it. What do we got, JB?
Les Stanford.
Les Stanford. Oh, that's right. My bad. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, it's the New Holland Brewing Company Watch Party and Postgame Show, live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. And we're doing this because we want to be able to watch these games and honestly instantly react insanely crazy to each and every Lions play. Hey, even if it's a bad play, man, I know you guys have seen us go crazy either way, and you guys said you wanted to be there, and I'm hoping that you can. The heavyweights, they kick things off with the watch party alongside other Woodward Sports personalities, and then the post-game show with Stick and Anson giving you instant analysis right after the game. You guys got to stay tapped in. If you can't be there, make sure you're tuned in via Woodward Sports Network, your Detroit's #1 sports network, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Total Your Local Long Drink, 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee, and all of the Sorokis you can enjoy. Let's go. Go Lions.
The 1968 Chevy Camaro SS. It is my joy. It is my love. It is my passion.
It's your fault that I'm in this garage.
D-Mac, we can't take this car to the game.
Sorry, DK.
What up, dog people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Shout out to the legend D-Mac, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, the mayor of Hockey Town. And would you at least say this, D-Mac, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame of Aura?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
D-Mac,
Yes.
let's rock. Let's
Yes.
rock. Let's rock. And you know what? With the Red Wings tonight, they did push their home opener back from 7 o'clock to 8 to accommodate the Detroit Tigers, who are playing just up the street. We actually got this. We talked about this, and we pontificated all season. Yo, what if we actually got a couple of our teams playing on Woodward on the same day? And we got it, man. Oh, we got it. And I know Detroit's going to be fired up. Find yourself just somewhere in the area. But to kick this thing off, we got that dude, Justin. Hey, let's rock, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin.
Hey, let's rock. Western Michigan's finest, man.
Ooh, fire up.
Let's
By way of Ann Arbor.
I'm fired up.
Yo, what's up? How's
What up,
it
though?
going?
Hey,
Good
I
to
love
see
the
you
gear.
guys. Thank you. Hey, I had to rep the Tigers, even though I'm out here for the Wings. I had to rep the Tigers. Gritty Tigers for the win, and going back to Cleveland.
Let's go, man. Hey, you were absolutely on one on that video. I'm going to see if JB can play that at least sometime before the end of the show for the Detroit Tigers, man. Hey, just really quick before we get into Red Wings, your just initial reaction on these Tigers, man.
Man, it was crazy down there yesterday. It was a day game, and Detroit was out in full. You could hear the crowd. Apparently, even on TV, my roommates were telling me they would turn down the crowd noise so you couldn't even hear it on the broadcast, which that's just a testament to how loud it was in Detroit yesterday and how well the fan base came out to support our Tigers.
Yeah, and great job to you as well, getting a lot of good content that blew up across our socials. I wanted to make sure I tip the cap to you, brother. Appreciate having you on this social team, man. It's been a blessing. But we got to talk about these Detroit Red Wings and our Detroit sports all kind of percolating at the same time. That, too, is a blessing. And you know what? We got some puck knowers. I know Flannel Sam, I know Spinny. That dude, Justin, is also to have you here to talk Red Wings with us as well.
Hey, absolutely. And I have a question. I know that it's just game 1 of 82, but what are you looking to see from this Red Wings team as they're taking their home ice for their season opener tonight against Pittsburgh?
Well, I'm looking for some defensive improvement. I think that this team has to be better in that regard. The addition of Cam Talbot, Edmondson taking a step into the top 4D should be another thing that helps in the addition of Gustafsson. I really would like to see the defense improve. The offense should have no trouble scoring tonight. The Pens just let up 6 goals to the Rangers last night. Their defense looked awful. There should be no issue offensively for the Red Wings tonight. I think just seeing the defense improve, if the defense is slightly improved, we're a playoff team this year, and I think that's what I'm ultimately looking for tonight.
Hey, and you know what? There's a lot of people out there who are just now tapping back in to Red Wings hockey as they're, they got so close to a playoff berth last year. But what kept them just shy of that, Dylan Larkin went down. And obviously the captain is going to mean a lot to this team. But to those who, you know what, they're just tapping back in, and when they did, they saw Dylan Larkin went away and everything fell apart. What have the Red Wings done this year, or what are you counting on that's going to insulate them from those types of things happening this season?
I'd say just the star power, where I feel like adding Tarasenko, people disregard how solid he is defensively if they think that it's some huge drop-off from Perron. I'd expect us to be a little bit more deeper offensively, and especially with some of the prospects en route to coming up. You can never say with injuries, but with Larkin, we need him in the lineup. We were 4-10 and 10 when he was out of the lineup. Lucas Raymond went through 2 5-game point droughts when he went out of the lineup. You can't have that in a season. If he would have stayed healthy for a full season, they would have had 100 points and would have been a clear in to the playoffs. They would have been the 7th seed, actually, not even the 8th seed. So the X factor of this team is Dylan Larkin's health, and you just hope that we're able to bring and have the infrastructure to be able to keep him healthy for a full season, because he is truly critical to this team's success.
Yeah, I kind of want to add to what Justin's saying. No doubt is Dylan Larkin's health going to be very important to this team, but I don't think his absence for that 2 weeks was the only reason we saw a little bit of that schneid that we went on. We played from basically February on last season with only one goalie. Alex Lyon took the brunt of the workload. When Husso went down, the team had no confidence whatsoever in James Reimer when he was in net. They thought they had to go out there and at least put up 5 goals because he was going to let in 3 or 4. So he's just too old. He was just past his prime, couldn't do it. Having not only Husso, who looks a lot healthier this year, he's starting tonight. We have Alex Lyon, who performed very well down the stretch. And then a little bit more assurance, we have Cam Talbot, who has proven to be earlier in his career, he's 37, I think now, but he's proven to get teams into the playoffs. I think we should be expecting at least a wild card berth this year.
That's what I was going to say. So, as well, Justin, that's what Chase feels. I'm going to just ask you as well. Do you believe they've bolstered enough, man, to not just kind of sneak in, but be a problematic playoff team this season?
I do believe that they're going to be able to put up a fight if they get into the playoffs. I think that they have done something similar to what you see in the Tigers pitching staff with this goalie trio. This goalie trio can be effective in 3 different ways with 3 different guys in 3 different situations, and I think it plays to the flexibility of the Tigers pitching staff. And I really, really like that situation that we're in, where I don't feel like we're overmatched no matter who's playing, where all of them are good options and all of them should be able to get you in the playoff. So combined together, they make a very, very formidable goaltending room.
Justin, my dog, I got to ask you about Lucas Raymond. This is somebody that they signed in the offseason, 8 years, $64 million, and also somebody that we expect to take that next step up. I know we talked about Dylan Larkin, but you're also looking to Lucas Raymond to be one of your main goal scorers. What do you expect to see from Lucas Raymond this year?
I expect a huge year out of Lucas Raymond. I've talked about it with Chase. I expect 85-plus points for Raymond. I expect him to pop off. I genuinely believe he is the next young star in the NHL. Everyone talks about Wyatt Johnston on the Stars because he had this amazing postseason, but Wyatt Johnston didn't do it for an entire regular season as well. Lucas Raymond has. Lucas Raymond, if Larkin didn't go out, I believe he would have had 80 points last year. And so I think 85 is no stretch. I believe he could even get into the 90s with a great season. He's worth every penny, and I think that you're only going to see that contract become more of a value as we move towards the end of it, as the cap continues to go up, and it just becomes more and more of a value deal for the Red Wings.
Man, you know, I'm looking at this offense. I'm putting the pieces together, and I see Lucas Raymond. Some are calling for 40 goals. Some are calling for 90 points. I see Dylan Larkin, who you can almost pencil in for a point a game. I'm seeing Patrick Kane, who had a renaissance. I'm seeing Alex DeBrincat, who I expect to have a little bit better of a year this year. He's a guy who scored 40 goals before. I'm seeing the addition of Tarasenko. Like, all of that combined, is this...
You sound happy for
I am. It's just a lot of pieces, but together, does this, at the very least, is this a Stanley Cup level offense the Red Wings have?
Ooh. I would say, if not, yes, pretty damn close. I think that we're just right there.
That gets me
fired up! Like, I don't want to be a slappy, but... Like, I expect Tarasenko to have more points than he had than last year. He's playing more of a prominent role, and he also played very well in the playoffs. I think Kane's going to have more points, full off season to rehab, and another year in this system. I think he's going to look even better than he did last year. I have faith in this offense. It's more of, is this defense good enough? Is this goaltending room good enough? And I believe it all is for us to make some noise in the playoffs and at least definitely get there.
Hey, and you know what? My son, shout out Kid Kool-Aid, his favorite hockey player is Mo Seider. And I know we expect great things all the time, but just talk about, hey, the man with the mitts, bro, Mo Seider.
Mo Seider is truly an artist when it comes to playing defense. And it's very underappreciated in the hockey community, the way that he takes his angles and takes guys out of the play. And he's a physical specimen, and he bullies guys. He loves the body. I mean, this is a guy who, in the next couple of years, I expect for him to be in the Norris voting and be competing for one of the best defensemen in the league. I mean, that's his trajectory. It has to be. For where this team wants to be in the next couple of years, you need that lockdown defenseman, that defenseman that you can stick on your blue line. You know he's going to be back there. You know he's going to make every single play that he needs to make for you. And that's what Mo Seider will be for this team. He will be an anchor. And that's where I'm just so excited to see where these steps are going to be for him and for Raymond as they continue to get better. And then the additions of around them, you know, the Johanssons, the Edmondsons, the Caspers, like watching the rest of the young talent come around, the young talent that's already starting to prosper in the NHL. It's a great time to be a Red Wings fan, that's for sure.
I mean, I think, so just trying to add to what Justin's saying, I think we're going to see a big improvement from Mo Seider, not just from the additions on the roster, but if you take a look at who's no longer on this team playing on the blue line. Shane Gostisbehere, I know a lot of people liked him. He just sat at the blue line and just tried to clap it all game. He had one of the worst plus minuses on the team. He was not very effective.
Thank you, Chase.
I would hear this network dog Jeff Petrie and dog Oli Mata and just try to suck off Shane Gostisbehere. And if you look at the stats, like it's no reason. Like, you're just dogging him because of the names. You do not like those guys. They used to play on the Penguins. I get it. I didn't like them back in 08, 09 when they beat us, but like they weren't as bad as people were making them out to be. And then also Jake Wallman, he had more.
About to lose it.
Jesus Christ.
Jake Wallman had more goals than assists for a defenseman. That is not something that should be acceptable, especially for someone who's like, with Steve Eisman running the ship. No way in hell he's like trying to build a team with that identity. So I think just losing those two guys alone is going to drastically improve the defense for this Red Wings team. Sam, go ahead, try to fire off. Come on.
We've got ourselves a Jeff Petrie slobber in the house.
I'm not saying
Chase, brother.
I'm saying he's better. He was better last year than Shane Gostisbehere.
The power play, brother. The power play. That was big, though, man. You got to admit, Shane Gostisbehere in the power play.
That's great. I think we have Simon Evanston to replace him on the power play, and I think Simon Evanston is going to be way better on the defensive end.
Oh, no question.
So Seider's been taking reps as the first DP as well.
I'm simply just talking about the subtractions of those guys. Look at the additions we brought in. We're so much better defensively now, with Edvinsson.
Edvinsson for sure. Yeah. Edvinsson for sure.
If this roster is 24th defensively like it was last year, I would be utterly shocked. It's for real. You are talking about Wallman and Gostisbehere, two guys who are negative defenders to the core. I can't. It is hard to watch those guys even play defense. They're Swiss cheese in terms of defense. They can't guard the worst player on any team. So I'm so glad they're gone. I'm with you, Chase. I think you hit the nail right.
And I'm not like calling for Jeff Petrie to be playing like top line minutes. Honestly, like stash him in the third pair or like scratch him if we need. Obviously with the young guys we got now. But just the disrespect he got last year and Oli Mata got last year, I just thought was insane.
Oli Mata got a little bit too much slander. I will say that. Yeah. Jeff Petrie. Yeah.
Hey, you know what that dude just?
And Andrew Kopp. I will always say here and defend Andrew Kopp.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, Flandel, do you not understand that he put up a career high in points when that's not even his job? He is a defensive center, and he still finished with a plus season. That is a good season for your third line center.
It's the Steve Yzerman can do no wrong people. That's what that's the Andrew Kopp like justification. It's the Steve Yzerman can do no wrong people.
He's slightly overpaid.
Hey,
that is for you. He's slightly overpaid, but he is value. He has value, and his contract has value to this team.
We can shake hands on that.
Yeah. Speaking of
speaking
of Stevie Y, man, I know it's early, but Justin, I gotta ask you this: is this a make or break year for Steve Yzerman?
No, it's not at all. He's got no pressure. To be honest, even from the guys upstairs, I even think the fan base.
I knew that was gonna get him going. I knew it.
That's all right. I'll let you go.
Finish, Justin.
Brother.
Even the fan base, I think, will even give him a little more leeway. But I think you're seeing where, in the case of the Tigers, you can make some noise if you get there, and it puts him in a position where he said he's going to add at the deadline, and if he adds at the deadline, this team could do something special. And so I don't think that there is a situation where it's a failure if we miss the playoffs, because if we miss the playoffs, there's going to be some stuff that happens that is explainable to why we don't. You could see Larkin go down. You could see a team in the East be really good who you didn't expect, which is a very big possibility. There's probably 11 teams that could make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. It is a tough conference. So we can't just say that there's this easy walk to the playoffs. So no, there's no pressure on Yzerman. The end goal is to win a Stanley Cup, and to win a Stanley Cup, it's not going to happen overnight. And he's making the linear growth that you ask for out of a GM that you don't even get all the time. And as Neil says, if there's linear growth, what are you complaining about? And that's where I'm going to sit. And I'm going to stand on my business, because this team is good enough to make the playoffs. But if something happens where Larkin goes down for 20 games and we miss the playoffs by one game, I mean, you could point to that, but at some point you're going to have to fix that, where if Larkin gets hurt, you need to be able to input someone to overcome that injury. Like, that can't forever be the downfall of the Red Wings in our championship window.
And just to clarify, I didn't mean make or break from a standpoint that he would get fired. I mean, clearly he's not going to get fired anytime soon, but I meant in terms of like his public perception if he doesn't make the playoffs this year.
The public perception will swing a little bit. There will be people who are mad. I mean, I still see Tailgate wins in the chat. Shout out Tailgate.
Shout out Nick.
There's no excuse to not make the playoffs.
Smart man, Nick.
I understand that. Hey, I'm not here to be that guy to not call for the playoffs, not want us to win, but at the extent of, if we make improvements, if you can tell that the young guys took another step, if we have cap space to make this team better next season, when we actually could make a deep playoff run with two more big additions to this roster, another move at the goaltending position, I can't be thinking of the minutia of one season when it takes years to build a true Stanley Cup dynasty contender, which Steve Yzerman is trying to do. And I'm not willing to skip steps to get there. And if missing the playoffs has to be a step to get the improvement out of the guys you need to get improvement out of, then that's how it has to be.
Hey, you know what? John effing Lord in the chat says, I love the hockey talk. This has been awesome, Justin. It's been a great conversation. What about you, Flannel Sam?
Oh no, it's been great. Honestly,
it has been.
I think I'm going to let it lie there, and we'll see how it plays out. I think they're going to make the playoffs. If they don't, we'll have a different.
Yeah, is that the consensus all the way around before we get into Tigers predictions next segment?
With us anyway. Sean Baligian went on record and said he didn't believe that they would make the playoffs this year.
Whoa, seriously?
Oh, yeah, he ended up going a full no.
Yeah, last week on Big D.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I respect Sean.
And he's a hockey guy.
Yeah.
But I think he's overrated in the East a little bit. Especially, honestly, his Montreal Canadiens. I'll say it straight up. They did beat the Leafs 1-0 last night, which is a great win for them, great open to their season. But I don't know. I don't fear the Canadiens like he says that I should. They don't really have that guy that I necessarily see as like, oh shit, like he's gonna put up a huge game against us and bury us. I just don't see it.
You know, Justin, if there's anything that we can totally kumbaya on, it's that the Montreal Canadiens, I don't understand why Sean Baligian is just like, shiver me timbers, the Canadiens. But, hey, we're going to do a show tomorrow, and we're going to get into it. But thank you so much for joining us, man. It was good to see you yesterday.
Before
go
I
ahead.
go.
Yeah.
For my bettors out there, I figured I'd bring a little Red Wings parlay for you because you know how it be. I was actually going to ask JB to cook me up with the best bets graphic, but I'm
listening.
It's all good.
At 11 p.m. last night, so I didn't want to hit him up with that. But here we are, Red Wings money line. They're winning against the Pens
Shout
tonight.
out to Caesars.
Are not. Yep. Shout out to Caesars Sportsbook. They're winning tonight. Red Wings money line. Give me Larkin to get a point and give me Raymond to get a point. I don't remember exactly what that paid. I don't have it off the top of my head. But that 3-leg parlay, I'm assuming it's around plus 400. I love it. I'll be riding it. Ride with me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, over under Mo Sider washes somebody's face with his gloves, 0.5.
I'd say over.
Let's go.
They're going to feel the energy at LCA tonight, especially with the Tigers down there. It's going to be absolutely epic in Detroit. If you're down there, make sure you send us some videos. We would love to see what the atmosphere is down there. I'll be checking the socials. You can DM it to me. You can DM it to Woodward Sports. I'll be checking the socials around. Make sure that we're getting that content. So thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate you letting me tap in, talk about the Red Wings. Disagree with Flannel. I know he's going to – if it was a Red Wings segment, next segment, he'd be going in about the fact that he thinks I'm wrong and you know, not kumbaya like we just did. So
no, he said he was going to play nice all day.
No, yeah, no, and it's all good. And I respect your hockey knowledge. You come at it from a different angle as somebody who plays the game, and I obviously do not. I can't even ice skate, so there's value to multiple perspectives. So shout out, Justin. Good to see you yesterday, and good to have you on today.
Thanks, Justin.
Great segment, brother.
Have a great day, guys.
Absolutely.
Have a good day, brother.
And hey, damn, dude, I'm surrounded by athletes here, and there's me. Me and Chase were having that conversation yesterday. You got pro athletes, you got college athletes, you got dudes who were high school stars, and then you've got a mediocre JV football player. But you know, it's not mediocre. 1,800 tequila.
You are a machine, bro. I'm not gonna let us go to break before that. You are a machine.
I wish I could have my mentality now and transport it into 14-year-old Flannel Sam.
Yes.
But that's youth is wasted on the young. Am I right?
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we were a high school star, a pro athlete, a college athlete. You know where we all wind up?
Where's that?
Behind one of these microphones, or at least trying to.
Absolutely. Ooh, absolutely. Hey. Grateful to be with you guys on that.
Bar confirmed.
Absolutely. 1,800 tequila. Official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1,800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1,800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1,800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly, and you got to pair it with something, right? Surprise! Weed. How would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with the QR code and bring it into any Dispo location, and you get a free $10 to spend in store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer just in time for football season, baseball season, and hey, you know what? Even hockey season as well, too. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York-style pizza, and add some fresh wings to this game day weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors that you can see up here on screen. You know what? Order some tonight. Head over to Soroki's, or you can always order online at Sorokis.com.
Absolutely. And then the Boys and Girls Club, the 3C Sports League. They've got football leagues in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. And you can register for 3C Sports at bgcsm.org. It's a great organization to be a part of. And, hey, if you're in this league, you get to play at Ford Field if you're in the championship. So maybe some future Lions out there can start their Ford Field career nice and early. It's the Boys and Girls Club.
Hey, what up, though, people? And we are back. And you know what? That championship, you guys know my religious and biblical beliefs, I refrain from work on Sabbath, Friday night sunset to Saturday night sunset. But I will be at their championship. Do some good, man. I like what the Boys and Girls Club is doing out there in the community and be able to help provide a platform to these youth who really haven't had one. It was awesome. Shout out to Brady Woods. I called him Brody yesterday. Motor City Cruise. Motor City Cruise PR coordinator. I was just doing content with him the other day. But shout out to Brady Wood. We're going to be down there, and it's going to be a good time. Be able to, like I said, have a platform for these youth who've never seen themselves like that, and they're trying to do life the right way from a community that is starting to get the types of support that I believe it needs. It's awesome to be able to support that type of stuff.
It absolutely is awesome. And you know what else is awesome? Predicting Tiger playoff games. Game 4 of the ALDS. Kool-Aid. Do the Tigers get it done today?
They get it done. I'm predicting 5-2.
Ooh. KG?
Even if they don't get it done, you got that man waiting if it goes back to Cleveland. The problem is the Guardians not making it out of Detroit. The Tigers win this one. It'll probably be a close ball game because Tanner Bybee did carve us up in that game 1. Got to be real about it, but I don't expect the same here. I 4-1 Tigers, man. 4-1.
So you tell me they should show up to Comerica Park with their bags already packed?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Damn.
Whether it's by 1 or 100, the Tigers are winning.
Let's go.
Hey, I got to agree with Chase on this one as well, too. I'm thinking 4-2 win for the Tigers.
I could definitely see that. I love that this Tigers lineup already got some experience going against Tanner Bybee. And even though he shut the Tigers out and pitched very well, Riley Greene had 2 plate appearances against them and had a single and was hit by a pitch. Parker Meadows got a hit off of him. Kerry Carpenter got a hit off of him. Zach McKinstry got a hit off of him. What really was dominant for the Guardians when the Tigers faced him in Game 1 was that bullpen. Tanner Bybee, although he did pitch 4 2/3 shutout, he was more hittable, and I think it bodes very well that Riley Greene had some success against him in Game 1. Look for a big game from him. Look for a big game from all of the lefties. Colt Keith's going to be in the lineup as well, and I think as far as the pitching staff goes, if you keep Jose Ramirez in check, you win. Look at these last 2 games. Jose Ramirez hasn't done a damn thing. But in Game 1, he got a hit to open up the scoring, that double that was originally ruled an error that was eventually ruled as a double. I think if you keep Jose Ramirez in check, you win. If he has one of those big blows like he's done too many times against the Tigers, you might be in some trouble. But I think the Tigers do win by the score of 5-3.
Let's go. Ooh. What up, though, Mr. Chase?
Well, so yeah, people are worried about the Tigers' ability to hit Bybee. Just look at the way the Guardians hit Holton in that Game 1 and how they weren't able to hit him yesterday. So, I mean, the same thing can happen the other, roles reversed for us, being able to hit off him today.
And everybody knows, whether you've played the sports or whether you've been a part of these kind of Detroit sports runs, there's something special that happens in these closeout games. I even go back to, I remember the 04 Pistons, man, and just seeing them close out teams round after round. When they got to that Lakers series where everything logically said they shouldn't be beating the brakes off them by 20 points, but they did. And I get it. This Tigers team is not that 04 Pistons team. But in terms of the special run that they're on right now and being able to have that special energy that happens in a closeout game in front of your own fans, that to me is a little bit different. You're talking about the pressure the Guardians also are going to be under. Hey, I can see the wheels come off just a little bit for the Guardians.
It's not just this team. They've got a weight of an organization that hasn't won a World Series since 1948 and has gotten so close so many times recently and has not gotten the job done. If the Guardians don't win this series, it's a disaster for them.
And we could be the reason why. That's so sweet.
Why can't it be us?
They should.
I'm making like the Sean Bleach and Neil Rule face. But speaking of which, JB, let's get to what's trending.
That's right.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Now pitching for Woodward Sports, JB Smooth.
Let's rock. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. What's going on? I got a little bit of news.
Okay.
Because we do have a game downtown tonight as well, too. So if you're attending, Tigers fans, they have curated this special drink for you right now. It's called the Tipsy Pumpkin for the postseason.
Wow.
So it is a spice smash cocktail featuring bourbon. You got pumpkin syrup, fresh squeezed clementine, sriracha biters, topped with ginger beer, and garnished with dehydrated pumpkin pieces.
That shit sounds horrible.
It sounds like a lot. I don't know. This is kind of like the basic white girl drink, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I was about to say the white mama's lining up. The snow bunny's lining up.
I drink it for a Tigers win, but any other scenario, no.
Nah, I'm good. I'll drink something else for the Tigers win.
So that's a pass. But just to let you know, that is downtown and available for you as well, too. But I know the Tigers are hot right now, but I don't know if you guys remember, the Lions do have a game on Sunday.
Yes.
And someone special just got their jersey inducted into the Hall of Fame because from Jared Goff completing 18 of his passes and going perfect, they have taken this man's jersey and hung it up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Is that foreshadow?
Yeah.
Hey, if Jared Goff wins a Super Bowl with the Lions, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Instant.
Give him the keys to the city too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely.
He's in that same realm as like a Kirk Cousins, for example, or even what Matt Ryan was but never was able to get done. They're one Super Bowl run away from being Hall of Fame quarterbacks because they've got the numbers for it.
Yep. And Ryan Gosling playing him in the movie.
Yep.
Can't wait for it.
Right.
Let's go.
It's gonna happen.
Sunshine.
It's gonna happen.
But man, shout out to Dante151 for bringing that to my attention as well yesterday. But man, let's get into these videos right now. All I gotta say is someone please call the janitor to clean up this floor.
Oh boy.
Clean up on aisle somebody.
Oh no!
Damn!
It just keeps going.
It's a 10-car pileup. I like how they just got up and kept running too. This is hilarious.
I don't understand this.
So I'm done after that, bro. I'm done.
All right, I get
no
this.
more laps, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
like
just get into the layup line, act like that never happened.
Yeah, I get this is y'all intro, but yeah, like the laps around before the game. I don't know if that's the best strategy for success, but
oh my gosh,
that is horrible.
That's crazy.
That's pretty painful.
Mop guy getting fired today.
The mop dude is definitely getting fired for that one. And I don't know what happened on this play. All I know is that it's just wild, and I can't even explain it.
What?
What?
He kicked the ball at him. All right, snap down. He didn't block it for some reason.
Oh my God! They just punted the ball into us. What is going on?
I guess the job got done.
I guess.
Yes.
What?
I don't.
Why is that dude look like like an adult, bro. Look how much bigger he is than everybody
I know, right?
else.
That's the kicker too.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
He's probably like the kicker / quarterback.
Right, he plays multiple.
He throws to himself.
You know how it is in those youth football.
he
You
plays
got one
8 different
superstar
positions.
who just plays
His
everything.
ID says, "I am 12."
Yeah,
I am 12.
What I don't understand is why did the defense just hop on him? Like, well, I guess you can't hop on the
Look
long
at the
snapper.
defense,
But
dog. They not messing with him, dog.
Maria, why did you leave me?
You're right, bro. The defense is standing
You
around.
know what I'm
like,
talking
I ain't
about.
messing.
I do know what you're talking
well,
about.
no smoke with dog.
They did not want to smoke. And I don't know if you guys have ever been down a rabbit hole when you're just on TikTok like I am, trying to go to sleep, but you can't really do it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I just get stuck down this rabbit hole to watching a whole lot of videos. And I just got to play this whole saga for you to see how it unfolds. But just know, the dollar store sells steaks, everybody.
What?
Mama, what are you looking at?
What about steaks?
Oh God.
We are at the Dollar Tree.
God.
They got steak.
These things are frozen solid.
Steak.
Come on. Try something else to go with it.
Oh, not the dollar store steak.
Steak and potatoes.
Hey. She
This is
looks
so
like
tender.
she's enjoying it, bro.
This is a dollar
I'm not
store
even
steak.
mad.
Stop
I'm not
it.
even mad at it. I've been there, bro.
There's a flavor, but I don't know what it is.
It's fake.
solid
That's what it
tender
is.
steak.
Talking about it's a flavor. I don't
It
know
is
what
a
it
dollar store steak.
It's got potential.
Mitten May said booty meat steak.
Right. That shit tough as fuck.
So everybody, that was my whole little
Oh my God.
that was my whole little night just going through on TikTok seeing this. But dollar store steaks, everybody. Are you buying this?
That's a no-go.
I can see why you can't sleep.
Yeah, that is a no-go. That is a heart attack waiting to happen.
stop.
You saw how it sounded when she ripped that motherfucker? It sounded like fucking Velcro. I don't
trying
understand.
to think though, at the depths of my poorness in college, would I have ate that? Probably.
Absolutely.
That's what I was saying. Like, I've been there, bro. I've
Yeah.
been there before.
Yeah.
You go and you're just like, you know what? I got that KFC from like 3 days ago. I'm making some ramen noodles. Hey, you know what? Put the chicken inside the ramen noodles. Now you got a gourmet meal.
I'll take
I've
chicken.
been there, bro.
I'll take KFC
Hot
and
dogs cost
ramen
as much
over
as
that
that
dollar steak any fucking day. That shit got no flavor, bro. That's the driest steak you'll ever see.
Just buy a pack of hot dogs.
KG is like,
That's fair. That's
KG
fair.
is really upset at this steak. Like I feel like somebody must have like prepared this for you before.
Nah, but my mama has similar tendencies, so it's just yeah. You don't do the dollar store
Kids is
food.
like, never
that
again.
section is full for a reason. You notice you go in the dollar store, that section is always just stocked. Everything else gone, but that's always stocked. There's a reason for that. Stay away from the
Hey,
food
you know
section.
what? Look, bro, them Jamaican patties that be at the dollar store though, those are on point. The
No,
crusty
come
one.
on, bro.
Hey.
Don't disrespect Jamaican food like that.
Hey.
Don't you do it.
You know, it's the name brand. I don't even know why it's there, but it's
Jamaican
fire,
patties.
bro. It's fire.
Jamaican patties, unbelievable. That's it for what's trending, you guys. I just had to show you that.
Let's
how,
rock.
how my night ended yesterday.
Shout out to Shy, $4.99 super chat. Great job as well, JB. What's trending? Rocking every single time. But he says Ryan Gosling, Sandra Bullock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Idris Elba
Stone
as
Cold Steve
golf.
Austin.
Playing Dan
They're
Campbell.
playing
Oh my
golf.
God.
Sheila, Campbell, and Holmes.
Oh damn. Michael B. Jordan as ARSB would be fun.
Fuck
Yeah.
Dog, that'd be hilarious.
Who's playing J-Mo? That's a tough one. Chase looked up like he has one.
J-Mo.
No, I had to think about it though. I
think
mean,
about
give me
it.
a sec. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, you know what? Maybe that's some mailbag questions.
Yeah.
What actors are playing the Detroit Lions in their Super Bowl?
Stone Cold is Dan Campbell.
But to say,
Oh,
Sean,
yeah,
those are
that's
actually
far.
solid choices. Nice work, man.
Yeah.
We're friends today.
Let's rock. Hey, you know what? It is time for that Feldman mailbag segment. So get your mailbag questions in. And also, if you got some actors that should be playing the Detroit Lions or the Tigers, hey, drop it in the chat. Hey, we got to hear from what, Feldman?
Second best.
Oh, second best first. Yeah.
Yeah, we can just run through all of them. Hey,
Want
why
to know
not?
where the best pregame Lions party is? Every single home game, Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street. For the ultimate fan experience, enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Absolutely. And then Mark White, of course. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242. or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true and then buy a house, buy a car. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Doug, I'm looking to the chat already.
Yeah, man.
You guys get your Feldman mailbag questions in there.
You talking about Sam Jackson can play Brown?
What? Megan Handy said them things is hot dog flavored steaks.
I'm not gonna lie. Will Sam Jackson be alive when they make the movie? He's older than you think.
Don't you dare say that, Sam.
No. I'm
don't
just
you?
saying.
He got some tread left on them tires.
Oh yeah,
highest grossing actor of all time,
Oh, for
Samuel
real?
L. Jackson. Yes.
Oh
yes.
No, he's great.
He's great.
He is.
Yeah.
Here at Mark, I saw you put Cuba Gooding Jr. in the chat. Who is he playing? Who is he playing?
He's playing O.J. Simpson. That's who he's playing.
Right. CK, The Rock plays Panay.
You guys ever
I think
Yes.
that's a great pair.
You guys ever watch Radio?
Yeah.
Yes.
We used to watch that in school. So
Yeah.
I always think of Cuba Gooding Jr.
You know what? Dirty Dr. D. Jamie Foxx for J-Mo.
Nah, he a little
Too
older.
old.
Yeah, he a little old.
If he was younger, I feel like he could encapsulate it, but
Yeah.
because he has range. But you're right.
You get one of these little YBN little rappers. One of them can play
Yeah.
J-Mo. Somebody can play J-Mo.
Like Lil Yachty or something.
Right.
If he can
Just
act.
get Future to play J-Mo. There you go.
Gromit thinks
get
Owen
Future.
Wilson should play Jared Goff.
No, that's obviously right.
Isn't it Ryan Gosling?
That's the easiest one.
Don't nobody want to see crooked nose Owen Wilson, man.
Yeah.
We good on him,
Hey,
bro.
shout out to Adam Morency, friend of the network.
Drill Bit Taylor.
Great person overall. I see you in the chat, brother.
Drill
I
Bit
saw you
Taylor.
here at the watch party
It's a good
yesterday too. Wish I could have seen you, man. It's always great vibes when you're around Adam. He puts it plainly. Jared Goff is Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Cena is Hutch.
I've
I'm
seen
sorry.
that too.
Huh.
John Cena is Hutch.
I would probably go with, for Hutch, Alan Richtman from Blue Mountain State.
Oh,
for, like,
Jack
yeah.
Reacher and more,
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
recently, yeah.
Yes, that's the show that I was thinking of too. Yeah, that's who I would go for Hutch.
Aquaman for
Panay?
sheesh. No, for linebacker. What?
Anzalone?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go like one of the Hemsworth brothers? He already has
Yes.
like Thor.
Yes.
Like, he already kind of.
Yeah.
I'm more of a DC guy.
But like,
I mean, Marvel does kind of suck.
Don't be a DC.
Hey,
let's
Chase,
go.
calm
Marvel-
down
Marvel
over
I
don't
will
suck.
bust out that film degree and we will have a talk. If
Marvel
you guys
does
want.
not
down over
suck.
there.
They had a down period. They
So,
do not
Jason
suck.
Momoa or one of the Hemsworths for Alex Anzalone.
Hemsworth, I'd say.
Yeah,
yeah,
all right.
Hemsworth.
I'm good on Momoa. He a trash actor too. kinda. Yeah, I mean he got the look, but his acting not so much.
You didn't like him in Fast and the Furious?
No, I didn't like him in anything pretty much. I mean the first little Aquaman is alright, but besides that, nah.
Dante 151. Oh my gosh, Kool-Aid. John Cena. I didn't know where he was going with this. John Cena as James Houston.
Oh.
Because you can't see Houston.
Oh, that's good though.
That was bad.
Unfortunately,
Really good.
that's not an unfair shot at this
Goodness
point.
That was
gracious.
bad.
All right. That was that was actually pretty good, Dante.
That was good.
All right, you know what? Let's get to some of these questions. Just a fan, Feldman mailbag. Tigers have not lost when WSN has a watch party. Tigers watch party tonight?
I don't know the status of the watch party.
I don't
because
either.
I know Spimmo's going to the game. I know Pete's not going to be here. I'm not going to be here, unfortunately.
Nick, aka the tailgate, is going to be at the game.
He's
with
at the
Freddie.
game too.
Gonna be
Yeah,
there
so
tomorrow.
I don't know about the status of the watch party for today, y'all. So just want to put that out there. It's a late start.
Charles McClain, mailbag. Hashtag Feldman mailbag. If Tigers win tonight, who is the MVP of the series? My pick is Meadows. He has been on base every game and for his defense.
It's hard because when there's so few games, let's just say, for example, even though Riley Greene, of course I'm using Riley Greene, hasn't had the best of series and the best of playoffs, what if he's like 4 for 4 with 2 home runs tonight? Like
Yeah.
a lot can happen, but as of right now, you got to go with Jake Rogers.
Hey,
honestly,
I love this love affair between Flannel and Rogers. I absolutely love it.
He's growing on me, you know?
Let's go. Hey, you know what? This is a fun one. Don Beats. Shout out to Don Beats.
Big shout
Hashtag
out.
Feldman mailbag. Would y'all eat that steak that lady made for front row tickets to tonight's Tigers game.
Yes.
Right behind home
yes.
plate.
Yes. I'll devour that bitch. Hey, pass the A1. It's going down. Pass the fucking A1.
Do you got to eat it with ketchup like she did? Because that's pretty gross.
Yeah, that's
I'd say I do it. I still do it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. And you know what? Later, I would feel so great about myself, man. Sitting there celebrating the Detroit Tigers, heading off to the ALCS.
No, you won't. You be on the toilet.
Right. I was going to say, you're going to have to shit that whole celebration, that whole game. You're going to be sitting there with bubble
How do I
gut.
tee this up? In this elite booth. He's a slam dunked it. Like,
I'm going to be in the bathroom all night after this.
Oh, you'll be sitting during your celebration.
Right. Clenching your fucking cheeks. You can't even celebrate because your ass clenching your cheeks.
I feel that, bro.
Dude, I'd go in like the Comerica Park bathroom if it meant going to the game and then winning.
Shit. I don't know if you want to do that either.
Yeah,
Have you seen the bathroom?
But that's
Well,
but
man,
I do,
Kenzie, like, I used to
do
work
dirty,
there.
disgusting things for the Tigers to win a damn playoff
Hey,
series.
number one for sure. Number two, ain't no way in. I'm doing that there. No disrespect to Comerica Park.
My man said I ain't even squat.
I want to hear Sam's line. Like, what's too much to go to the game? You just said you do some dirty and disgusting
Hashtag Feldman
things.
mailbag.
Oh shit!
I'm not going to be one of those people that you've seen a trend like, I'll eat a cup of dog.
goodness.
I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. And anybody who still posts stuff like that is
Would you start an OnlyFans?
no.
With just your knees?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Only knees.
Would you eat exclusively from the Speedway for a week?
Oh yeah. Like no question. No question.
Yeah.
No
You got to
question.
think about that Kool-Aid. Just nothing but.
No
I
question.
had to, but it's like, ooh, because this is like, yeah. I want to see these Tigers do something special, man.
Just a dry glizzy
I have my
from
limits,
Speedway.
but, right now, yeah.
Just a dry glizzy from Speedway. Is that what you want to do?
A dry glizzy from
If
Speedway.
it tastes like victory, I can
Jesus, them glizzies do
What
be
if it
dry.
tastes like that lady's steak?
victory, right?
Steve-O, baby. Hashtag Feldman mailbag. I'm predicting that the Red Wings are going to the playoffs. What does he say? Hell, I was the one that said the Tigers would make the playoffs when they were at their worst in August. Hey,
Okay.
you know what? Shout out to you, Steve-O, baby.
All right.
I mean, kumbaya today.
Yeah.
Right.
Kumbaya.
Let me see if we have one more before we break it down. Oh, Devin the dog. You know what?
Hey,
Perfect
shout
one
out.
to end the show on. Devin the dog, and he hit me up as well. He said, Kool-Aid, it's my birthday. Sorry I couldn't make it today. Big 30 club. He did. He was going to try and make it. Hey, you know what? If you can stop by tomorrow or sometime next week, Devin the dog, you know that you're always welcome. We'll make sure we tell you happy birthday in person as well. You have definitely, for years now, supported this platform, supported this network, supported us, brought your own merchandise that you're spending your own money on and you're spending your own time making, and you're bringing it here to bless us. So we appreciate you, man, and I hope that you have a great, great, great birthday, man. Anybody
Happy
else want to
birthday.
give him some?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Devin the dog, you're welcome anytime. Your kind words on some of the phone calls I've got during my time here have meant more than you even know, my dog. So, shout out, happy birthday, and the 30s are not so bad. I mean,
It's
look
not.
at me, right? Come
They're
on,
not
I'm a
so
picture
bad.
of health. We're all pictures of health. Chase, you'll find out someday. He's the whippersnapper of the crew, but that's all right.
Hey, happy birthday, Devin. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a great weekend, too. Hopefully the Tigers and the Red Wings give you a nice victory for your birthday, too.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday to my dog.
Happy birthday, Devin.
Oh, man. Is that a show?
Think so?
Yep.
Sean said he
show.
tried the dollar store steak to everybody.
Yeah, I did see that. Shot said he tried it. It's not so bad. So.
I
not so bad.
You got the Tigers and the Red Wings, October and the D, and our chat go overrun with dollar store steaks and Flannel Sam's knees.
Yeah.
I love our chat.
I love
know,
it, dog.
right?
Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this. Go ahead and smash that like button. If you've got an opportunity to, we appreciate you. Share this thing wherever you can. We definitely appreciate it. Shout out to our brother, Matthew Broder. We love you, bro. We love you. We love you. And that dude, Justin, who took the time to give us some Red Wings perspective. They got this home opener tonight. They moved it back from 7 to 8 to accommodate the Detroit Tigers in the playoffs. Downtown Detroit is going to be absolutely on fire, man. It's going to be jumping, and I can't wait. Shout out to intern Chase holding it down this morning. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, though? How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good day. Hopefully it continues to go well, and we get a couple wins to end the day off tonight. So.
Hey, the It's elite, wonderful, magnificent, stupendous, great, better than the rest. I'm talking about some dogs,
More.
man. You can X-ray and see it in their chest,
Raise
man.
the level.
Hey, you want me to raise that level?
Raise
like
it.
the Detroit Tigers are raising that level.
Yeah.
Like Detroit sports in general. What did D-Mac say? Detroit sports is back. And you know what? It seemed to coincide with this elite booth, this battery right here. I'm just saying.
Ever
right?
since I got here,
Hey, you know
Michigan
what?
title, Lions NFC championship appearance. I mean, come on, Tigers AL,
You know what?
CS almost. You know,
He set himself up. So that means that even if it's just you, we got to have that watch party.
Nah, big fat. Well, no, I'm good. I'm going home. Y'all that had enough of me, but I'm on 3 shows a day, man. But hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Love y'all, man. I appreciate the support yesterday and just all week. Shout out to my team, man. We continue to do this shit when they thought we couldn't, man. So let's keep this shit rolling. Go Tigers.
Hey, go Tigers. And that is Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG, aka Black Hollywood.
You know it.
The TD booth, it is JB Smooth. Woodward Sports is MVP.
Double D's.
Hey.
We are so close to the weekend and so close to another Tigers victory. I don't know what the status is with this watch party. Hopefully we can do something tonight. I don't really know, but just keep believing in the Tigers right now. They're one win away. Why not us? Why not us? Keep saying that.
Lunchbox hooligans. They also sell pork chops that aren't that bad at all.
Uh-uh.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
Not store steaks and pork chops.
Nah.
Nope.
Y'all motherfuckers gonna be dead by 50. You messing with that shit.
No,
Shout out to the vet of the squad, vet of the network that is Flannel Sam.
Athlete
Keep
Sam.
saying it.
Thank
The
you,
more
Chase.
things change, the more Flannel Sam stays the same. And like I told you, bro. And there was somebody earlier in the chat. I got to make sure I read this to you. Everybody deserves a flowers flannel. And where is it at? There it is. G. Clark, I saw you from earlier in the chat. He said, shout out to Flannel. You're part of the blueprint too, my brother.
Hey, this is a really fun time slot to hold down, no matter who I'm with. And I love that I'm here with you guys now. You guys in the chat, man, we're celebrating. How many victory shows can we do?
I swear.
I never get sick of them.
Never
All
enough.
of them.
Even though I come in on 2 hours of sleep, I don't care.
You're right.
This is
It's worth it.
it's going to be an insane crash out when it's over. But you know what? Let's just keep getting those victories, man. Let's close it out tonight, Tigers, and have a Friday victory show for our, 8th one in the past 2 weeks, it seems like.
Guardians don't leave Detroit, baby.
I don't know, I don't even know how this is possible, but Detroit sports, it continues to energize us, the camaraderie that we have with each other. It's awesome, man. But it's your boy Brennan, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. We appreciate you guys for staying tapped in. And this is pretty funny. The Scooble jersey giveaway, the winner, G-Mac Cash.
Oh!
G-Mac Cash won again.
Shout out
Shout out
Tigers
to you,
won
brother.
again.
Maybe we gotta set something up, man. Make sure you can get this jersey and pay a little homage to you as well, because this thing has been like a movie and you can't lie. His songs,
He been
are
the
some of the
soundtrack.
ones that are part of the soundtrack.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to you. Congratulations as well. We're gonna make sure you get some Woodward Sports merch too. He is a supporter. He did share this. He did enter, and he has been in this studio before. We're gonna set it up again. Shout out to G-Mac Cash, man, and shout out to you, chat family. Have a blessed day. This has been Wake Up Woodward.
We're not going back to Cleveland.
It doesn't matter. We're gonna fucking hit the top off the ball. Carry vibes to the moon. Ride the green to the moon. Go Tigers, baby.
Detroit's back, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Detroit, get fired up.
Tigers win big.
America's gonna be rocking this.
Let's go. Tigers game day. We about to bring this shit down. Let's go.
Don't go fishing.
Oh, yeah! Knock it down!
I told you, baby. Let's go.
Trust your next vehicle purchase.